We did it. We made it to another Tuesday, another Club Top Shot. We are supposed to theoretically open a shit ton of Run It backpacks. As of right now, you are not able to do that on the site. And that is the kind of drama and tension we love here on Club Top Shot. But we have all the regulars joining us tonight. We'll have some fun regardless, but hopefully we can get the VIPs into the club tonight to rip some Run It backpacks. Let's do this. Damien, you can retire. Let's call up Steve Kerr right now. Tell him you're done. 3-on-2 game.
Oh, I'm an incredible basketball player. Awful shooter. Awful shooter.
Nasty jumper.
Would you ever gamble on shooting?
Here we go.
Let's see.
We got jaw lighting up again.
On that note, let me go.
All right. Club Top Shop going up on a Tuesday.
Love. Peter Jennings sliding in at the last minute. We were doing some layup lines before the show. We were wondering where our star shooting guard was, but he made it. He made it. How are we doing, Pete?
Trying to do everything I can. I've honestly never felt more overwhelmed in my life, but it's all good. Yeah, things are pretty good.
I mean, Lucky Trader, fucking killing it. I've been using the new OpenSea extension. It's so good. It sounds like you guys got a lot going on over there.
Yeah, Lucky Trader's going well. Really, that extension is badass. Shout out to Sean on that. And yeah, the whole team's cranking. It's an interesting time. I mean, today was a huge day with the Bitcoin ETF. I do think NFTs as a whole are kind of slowing down to a degree, partially because of a lot of money being allocated to Bitcoin and Ethereum. I say that, and our friends actually just had a couple big sales. Matt Kalish just sold that ape, and then friend of the show, Taylor Cabey, founder of ETR, just had an incredible punk sale that looked like I would have never believed it, other than it's Taylor's punk. So
I missed that. I saw the Kalish ape sale. What was the Taylor punk sale?
Oh, you're not going to be happy. I mean, you could have bought this for.
I mean, I'm never happy when it comes to punks. Pete, so might as well hit me.
I mean, this one in particular is quite devastating. I mean, this is something that we could have bought, for like 8 ETH or something like that.
Oh, shut up. God.
What did he pay? Let's see what he paid for it. Actually, I don't legitimately know what he paid for it. He paid.
What pump is it? What number is it? I want to take a look at this.
273, paid 26.5. So I was way over. 26.5 on March 3rd. Sold today for 265.
Nice. That's a solid 100x. Or no.
10x. Almost 100x.
Well, if that guy's going for 265, I'm bullish on my little avatar fella. Add a smile to that fella, and it's similar to mine.
Yeah, and here's the this is the one Kalish. What he bought this for like 350 or 360 a couple months ago, and a nice little 2x here basically at the meme pricing. I think you're muted. Pete.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad there. I mean, I've been hearing, I feel like we're in this limbo period where people can't tell if we're in an NFT winter. Pete, you mentioned things slowing down with Bitcoin and ETH pumping, but I mean, if we're selling Bored Apes for 700 ETH, I think summer's still here.
That's such a good ape. I mean, the high end I think is still done okay. I think the blue chip, to me right now, it's so obvious. Like, you want to be rotating into blue chip projects. That's. I mean, I'm biased towards that anyways, but I think that's very clear given where things are right now. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I've been pretty actively considering another punk or two, based on like what profits I've taken or can take from some like other random NFTs I've been like buying and flipping. So I totally agree.
What's your? I mean, obviously blue chips are blue chips for a reason, but why particularly in this moment do you say that, Pete?
Well, we're just seeing more and more saturation on a lot of these projects that are very similar. And I think there's this wave in August and September of like you could kind of play musical chairs, jump from project to project. There's a ton of opportunity to flip and just make a lot of money. And now that that's kind of slowed down, I think we'll see some sharp declines potentially in some of these smaller projects. And maybe along those times, we don't see the same action, some of the blue chip stuff, but I do think that that's where you want to be allocating capital.
Yes.
Not financial advice. Not financial advice.
I think if a lot of people had 265 Ethereum, they would love to allocate it on a punk like this that Taylor just sold. I recognize this from his Twitter, Avi. He's gonna have to he's gonna have to change that.
Yeah, remake his whole identity.
He's not
so
like
clean, bro.
That was this time is just such a mind fuck at this point. Was the guy who turned down the insane offer for his punk, was that since our last show?
Yeah,
it was.
I think it was like 4 days ago.
Someone why don't you guys explain for people who don't know? I wasn't familiar with that guy, but just tell people about that story, because I actually think it's a pretty interesting one in the NFT space.
Andy, you want to do it?
So Richard is a guy who works for Manifold XYZ, which they're a really dope company. They work with like artists and creators to get them like custom smart contracts so that they're able to have a lot more agency over how they mint NFTs and just like have a very tailor-made experience that like looks and feels premier. And so Richard is one of the co-founders of that, and he was in a Twitter Spaces with this guy Werthalter. I'm definitely butchered his name. He's an Argentinian guy who's like a super, super early Ethereum. He might have been an Ethereum ICO guy. He's the nicest dude in the world. And he does POAP XYZ, which is like what Fractional used for like our early adopters, like NFTs that we gave out and stuff. And he is a like well-known massive Ethereum whale. And so Richard was saying that he didn't have a price for his CryptoPunk. He was like, it's just not for sale. And then Werthalter was like, what if it was for $1 billion? And he was like, no. And Richard said he wouldn't sell. He's like, I don't believe you. And so then he put up an offer for 2,500 Ethereum.
Yeah.
Just under $10 million. And it was up for like 2.5 hours. And Richard didn't accept it. I believe him that he like says that he was at his computer, like could have accepted it if he wanted to, and actively chose not to. I've spoken to him enough. I don't think he's LARPing. I also don't think he's desperate for money. So I think he's probably, to him, it isn't a huge deal. As crazy as that sounds. But that's like the really quick story.
Yeah, because there was the classic stuff that you hear of, oh, this was a marketing ploy. Oh, this is some money laundering thing. Also, there just a little bit of breaking news. I'm a little frazzled here. I believe the Top Shot Discord got hacked, and there was a couple erroneous announcements coming out and a specific scam link. I have it pulled up right now, and I saw one pop up and literally get auto deleted even after El Dumbo had done a don't click link. So something is going on with that Discord. If you guys are getting Top Shot announcements, do not click any of those links. So I'll try to keep you updated on that here. They are hacked. Another one just came through. NBA Top Shot team trying to link to some bogus thing. It just got deleted again. So yeah,
I'm watching this happen real time. This is crazy.
That is not good. All right.
It's being posted in the Discord. Is it a particular channel?
The
announcements channel. They keep new things keep getting added and then deleted.
I don't see the announcements channel.
It's
Is it the
I wonder if they deleted it.
They might have just pulled it down because I'm in it right now, but I don't see it on the left side anymore.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm in it.
Oh, look at that.
Well.
We got a star of the show. She doesn't care about that.
Wow, 2 babies just rolled in.
Too good, Pete. Too
Luke
good.
is posting in the site status and updates. I see him typing.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I'm still in the announcement channel. Are you hearing this, Jack? The Top Shot Discord just got hacked right now.
No way.
Yeah, I think they just took down their announcements channel. There's some scam link posting in the announcements feed. Not good right now.
They got rugged.
Of
Why
all, yeah.
Why would
that
they
is
delete the announcement channel?
No, they probably just close the channel for now.
just closed it to make sure someone
No,
couldn't.
that's where I would have the most fun.
Yes, be careful out there, guys. I have no idea if
No, Jack. I think that someone from the Top Shot team who still has access closed it down, so the bad actor didn't take advantage of the announcements channel.
Gotcha.
So was it a random person posting, or what was it like?
the name of the handle was NBA Top Shot Team, and they had an NBA logo on it, so it looked, vaguely believable, but they were trying to get people to, click through to some link.
It was only up for a second, but it seemed like it might have been tied to that weird NBA token scam from a few weeks back, where they were selling some unaffiliated token and pretending to be affiliated with the NBA and Top Shot.
And then we have poor Gracie here in the club, unknowing of the world of scammers that she is going to grow up in.
Oh, we lost Jack.
Hi, Gracie. I saw Gracie in her underdog onesie the other day. Very
Oh yeah,
cute.
that was nice.
Let's unmute Gracie. Let Gracie speak.
What do you think, Gracie?
Hi,
You got
Gracie.
anything to say?
Hey, Gracie.
You got anything to say, Gracie?
I'm gonna miss her traveling. Yeah.
Yeah. You ready to party, sweetie?
Ashley's trying to get her to pump her mama bags on the show.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
Dada. Dada. Yeah. Dada. What do you think? Is it fun being on stage?
Gracie,
You ready to party?
Gracie, you will never be on stage, young lady.
Okay.
Oh.
Good point. Is it fun
Clay,
being,
delete that.
On stage.
is it fun being in the club?
All right,
Good night. Say good night to the club.
Gracie,
Miss
look
you.
into the camera and tell
Gracie.
people not to click any DMs from
Gracie, be
strangers
careful.
on Discord.
Say hi. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Can you wave? Can you use your hands?
Gracie's birth was
Right.
practically on the club. I mean, Gracie will grow up on this show for
Ooh.
better or worse.
I'll try
Yeah,
the
we like
glasses.
the glasses, don't we? Okay. Here you go, mommy. Love you.
Aw.
Oh, this is too adorable.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
great
it's just
content.
brutal. I can't believe. I'm excited. I got some good travels, but it's sad to leave.
Speaking of travels, how was Colorado? Andy, I saw you at the Buffs game. That looked fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really quick trip. So my Allie's younger brother is a senior at UC Boulder, and so it was like their parents' weekend. So we went out there like Thursday night and left Sunday morning. Real quick trip, but it was a lot of fun. Went to Avery Brewery, which was super good. They had really good food and beer. We did that on Friday, and then Saturday we went to the Buffs game and like tailgated, and I felt really old with a bunch of like 21-year-olds drinking at a tailgate.
I hope no
Although
one was
I
smoking
did still
marijuana.
crush them in slap cup. So
Really?
yeah,
The,
there was a little marijuana smoking. It was
And it was
very
nice, right?
concerning.
You got good weather and did the
Yeah, it was
leaves
really
right now
nice.
are awesome, right?
Yeah,
you
I got a
did you
little
have-
sunburn
Boulder.
even.
Go ahead, Pete.
I was gonna say, when is he gonna move to Boulder? I mean, Boulder's the nuts. No,
Nah, it's a really nice place to go and visit for a couple days. But like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I've been to every restaurant in Boulder, and I've been there in total for like a week and a half.
Wow.
You're not
Andy,
shots
what is
fired.
Colorado.
Boulder catching strays.
that's
No,
fair
it's really,
criticism.
really
I mean, if
nice.
you're in
I
New
just-
York, restaurants are way better. I get it.
Yeah, that's something that I like value too much right now. Is like Allie and I go out to eat a lot and really enjoy like going and trying new restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like, there's just nowhere you want to live other than New York in the States
Yeah,
to
you're
do
the
that.
best
Maybe
place in
LA.
the world.
I don't think Andy might be the best person to appreciate Colorado because the one scenic photo he posted was of a bank.
I didn't see that.
I'm glad that everyone got the irony of that photo.
Yes, Colorado is a lot of fun. Peter's slowly trying to recruit everyone in his
Yeah.
life to move out here.
I really enjoy my time in Boulder when I do spend time there.
Yeah.
I just don't think I'd want to live there full time.
Yeah. Did you have any interesting conversations with college kids trying to explain NFTs to them?
No, not really. They were busy. They were preoccupied with other things.
Yeah. Jack, how you doing? What'd you have for dinner there? I saw glimpses of it.
Well, I came from dinner, but it wasn't enough food, so I grabbed a.
Oh,
What is
there
that?
we go.
It's like a
Pizza?
Yeah, but like,
Is that-
what's the like non-traditional slice? That's
There's a grandma slice. That
no,
almost looks like a
It's-
Detroit slice.
Yeah, it's like Detroit style almost.
Is it lions and tigers and squares?
No, this is
That's
like
that's like-
Chelsea, right?
there's like Ben's on the corner.
Okay. Well, if you
But-
ever want good Detroit style pizza,
You want
lions
to talk
and
about
tigers
money
and squares.
laundering with NFTs? This restaurant is a pizza spot, and they built literally half a block in both directions on the corner for seating, and no one's ever sat there. So I think they're money laundering.
You think it's like an illegal gambling ring? What do you think is going on there?
Well, New York, the possibilities are kind of endless, right? Like it could be anything from rabbit fighting to mining Ethereum and Dogecoin.
What I like is those guys from the pizza shop are at their place right now looking at your tweets about JPEG saying you're money laundering and you're accusing them of money laundering with their
Looking at their chairs and tables. And
I mean, hey, what do you need? What do you need? Half a block of seating for a pizza place?
maybe they have weddings sometimes.
If someone throws their wedding there, then not gonna make it. Not gonna make it.
So as I mentioned at the top of the show, last time I checked, we are unable to open packs right now on Top Shot, which was kind of the thesis of this show. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, it doesn't seem like Top Shot has any other fires to put out right now. So I don't know why they wouldn't be able to get pack openings up here in a little bit.
Wait, did that just go down, or that's been down all day?
Down all day.
It's been down all day. Yeah, the hack stuff is
So it
nuts.
looks like
The
what the
hack stuff,
actual
yeah.
like hacky thing is that they posted a link in the announcement saying to mint a new Top Shot NFT, and it like sent people to a random website that had like a traditional Ethereum minting process, and so the exploiter, whoever this is, wallet they made like 14.5 Ethereum from this. So like
Yeah,
$55,000.
yeah, not ideal there. Not ideal.
I hope they just buy like I don't know, like a Bismack Biombo base set cereal 400.
Maybe a cosmic. Maybe a Bismack cosmic.
Just put it back in the ecosystem.
You know what I think's bizarre about these? I think it's reasonably likely that everyone who's running these scams is like probably people among the community that we know, or like someone who's like 1 degree of separation from that. Like everyone in NFT world is like in crypto Twitter and participating in this world. And
Do you really think that?
who else would they be?
Well,
You think it's people who like are removed from the community but still know everything that's going on?
Yeah.
No, I think there has to be a baseline level of knowing. I mean, even to see that announcement, it was almost even formatted like a typical Top Shot announcement. Like,
Yeah. No, but Mike, are you saying like someone who's constantly posting?
No, probably not like the biggest personalities in the space, but I wouldn't be
No, but you're
surprised if
saying
there's some like
someone who has somewhat of a following.
I don't know about a following, but someone who's like people in NFT world or crypto world have interacted with and is like a more of a regular person. Everyone just pictures this like guy in a dungeon somewhere who's never interacted with another human, and it's probably someone who has participated in normal NFT drops and is like, I don't know, desperate in some way and just doing this to take advantage of it. I can't imagine just a silent person who's never
I'm not
participated.
gonna lie, 14 ETH, pretty solid come up in a short period of time. But also,
Yeah.
like, that's your one big hack, and you only come away with 14 ETH. Kind of weak.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably the same guy who did some rug pull recently. It's probably one of you guys.
I was just gonna say, Mike's doing
Shit,
the
you
thing.
got me.
Look around to your left, to your right. Someone
Yeah.
in here.
1 degree of separation.
Yeah. God. Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted on that. How is Run It Back week been going for you guys? Did we all get Run It Back packs here?
I got
Yeah.
one.
It took me to PQ2
Jennings doesn't even
though.
know his login.
Pete, unmute yourself and tell us if you even attempted.
He didn't enter the queue. Didn't enter the queue.
I mean, I got nothing to say. Imagine. I mean, I'm just.
What's your collector score, Pete?
What's my collector score?
Yeah, it's got to be
He's
fine.
like, what's that? Jennings, will you do football?
Yeah, of course. Dude, if I had time, I would do all this stuff.
No,
I'm
but
drowning.
like,
I'm literally
you
drowning
make-
right now.
will you make room for football? Like make time for football?
I want to. I mean,
Tell us-
God.
Jennings, just do like one fewer scam a week and then make some time for Top Shot.
Pete, tell us, give us a peek behind the curtain. What's a day in the life of CSU Ram 88 like these days? What's occupying your time?
My collector score, by the way, is 17.3K.
Okay,
Nice.
impressive,
Nice.
impressive.
Is that bad or is
Confirmed
that good? I don't even know.
No,
More
It's
it's
good
than
enough for
mine.
PQ1.
What's
He doesn't
what
know
are
what
like
that
the
means.
top collector scores? Like Mike and Andy. What are you guys at?
Mine's like 600,000, but that's like not that high relative to other people.
Andy's
Yeah,
has got
some
the
people are
nuts,
really
right?
high.
Fuck off.
No, mine's
Yeah,
lower.
literally
Mine's like
fuck off.
20 or 280,000.
The problem with me and Andy's, we collected like I get really bad collector score points per moment or per dollar I've spent because I have like a bunch of LeBron commons from Series 1 that are worth like 6 collector scores but cost a lot of money.
Get out. of
And
here.
Andy's similar. No, but some people
I've been kicked off this show. If there's anything to kick someone off the show
Mike,
for,
I
get
mean,
this guy out
literally,
of here.
just get this fucking bullshit.
I'm explaining
out
why
of here.
mine's not that high, but like Alex
No
show,
one
for
thinks
example.
yours isn't high, Mike.
It isn't
Everyone
high.
thinks
Well,
it's
so-
fucking high.
Comparatively,
Alex
there's
is
people-
6 times higher than mine.
Relative to like the 3 people who have a higher valuation.
No, but it's noteworthy that his is 6 times higher. It's not like 10% higher. It's 6 times higher than mine because he's completed every team set. He has a lot of lower value moments because he's collected at least one of every moment
He's
on
a
the
true
platform.
fan. He's a true fan.
yeah, Mike hasn't collected the Cool Cat set, which has a bonus to it.
Right. I don't have the Cool Cat set. What's that called? 9 Lives Lounge?
Oh, dope. You think about it every night. There it is. Pull out the-
And his
Have I-
paperweight. Yeah.
When's the last time I plugged this in? It's not important. Doesn't matter. It's fine.
Oh my God, NBL. Just try to get out of here saying that your collector score isn't high enough here.
I didn't say it's not high enough. I just said it's an interesting dynamic.
Did anyone buy any run it backs after
Yes.
the release?
I've been playing in the market. I had my largest ever sale today, which was interesting. I sold something for $3,250 so that I could buy another Dwayne Wade run it back and recomplete my Knicks set and potentially make a run at the Vince Carter Quest or whatever it's called going on right now.
Hang on. Wait. Because you mentioned this. We hopped on the Team Hold stream earlier.
Yes, it happened. It happened between the
Did you
Team
sell
Hold
a
and this
Series 1 for a Series 3? That's disgusting.
summer 2021, Jack. Get it
Sorry,
right.
my bad.
No. But we're bearing the lead here. Did you have? Did you call
a family
meeting
meeting?
with the board members of the family vault to release one
Wow.
of these? I thought
No
you were
meeting.
talking
We've
then.
covered this. The assets are still all mine. We haven't done any family transaction yet where the family's actually bought in. It's
That's
set
not what
up
your
to do
dad
so.
told me.
You've never spoken to my dad.
Your dad is super upset with your collector score. He had a higher play.
By the way, we should get Mike's dad on the show. His accent is incredible.
Yeah. What kind of accent?
Where's he from?
South Africa.
It's the best. He just sounds
Wait,
smart.
how does
Just,
Jennings
he could
know?
say like,
Jennings is
Jennings
talking about
Jennings
it?
has been on a call with him. Yeah, Jennings invited me to an investment
Wait,
opportunity.
is
My dad
Jennings
came
on
out to the call.
fucking board of your family vault?
No, but I would consider that. That would be a nice board member. Jennings is very sharp.
perfect.
Even keeled, steady as it goes, smart, good board member
Yeah,
candidate.
no, but I will say, I think there's a perception. The whole joke about the vault to me isn't necessarily the family stuff, although that's a good subplot. It's that you buy these moments and you just never touch them. So talk through actually
Yes.
selling here. Are you not liquid? Is that what you're saying, Mike?
So there's a couple things. First of all, item 1, For floaty, we are probably not fundraising where we would have fundraised before, for the primary reason that we want to basically we can give away some equity at a lower valuation than we want right now, or kind of build, get some revenue going, get some user growth going, and then get a much higher valuation in 6 months. And so we've kind of decided we're going to bootstrap the operation, which takes a lot of cash. So I don't want to put more cash into Top Shot right now. But I think that the run it back moments are strangely priced right now, and would love to chat about that with the group. I think if you look at especially the top 4 guys, and really the top 3 guys in my mind, Shaq, Iverson, and Wade, they only have 990 of their Top Shot debut moments. And as we were talking about on the Team Hold stream earlier, no matter what comes from this point forward, they will only ever have 990 Top Shot debut moments. I exclude the LeBron from this because there will probably be more LeBron Cavs moments, could be LeBron Cavs legendary moments, or even rare or common, to dilute how exciting this current one is. There'll never be more Top Shot debut Wade, Shaq, or AI. So I'm surprised those 3 are priced below, I don't know, Ja, Zion, even Luka at this point. These are some of the best players of all time, some of the most popular players of all time. There are fewer of their Top Shot debuts. Like Ja has 1,000 of the base and 299 of the MGLE and a bunch of Holo and a bunch of Cosmic and rookie debut, which are all his Top Shot debut. And so he's got, I don't know, 2x the supply of Dwayne Wade, top 20 player of all time, Hall of Famer. And so even though it's Series 1 and it's a rookie, I'm surprised Wade is, I don't know, like 55% of the price of a Ja. So I sold a Ja and bought a Wade and a bunch of other stuff from this drop. And I do expect these ribs to catch up with those moments at some point.
You say Dwayne Wade top 20 player of all time?
I don't know, top 25? I don't know. Where do you think he stands?
He's not even like, I don't think he's in the top 50 players of all time.
What?
You're out of your mind. He's like the conventionally the best shooting guard ever.
What?
He's top 5 shooting guard for sure all time.
Top 3? I don't know. Who else is up there? I guess.
He's very high.
Kobe's
Jordan,
positionally,
Kobe.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, I guess these are like shooting guard / small forwards. Let's see. Top NBA players ever. What's your source choice here?
Top 50 might have been a stretch, but I'm like almost positive that Dwayne Wade's not in the top 20 players of all time.
All right, let's see. ESPN as of 2020. Answer.
My guess is Dwayne Wade's in the 20s, 27.
I guess 22. Let's see. Dwayne Wade 26. Wade 26.
Oh, how good am I? I mean, I'm retired.
Question. James Harden or Dwayne Wade all time?
Dwayne Wade. It's not even close. Not even comparable.
If you talk to a real like NBA,
a 14-year-old?
No. I guarantee you, if you ask any of Jennings' friends,
well, let's see where Harden is on this list.
they would say Harden over Wade.
Why? I totally disagree. Yeah. Wade is like the second best shot blocking guard of all time. He actually
what a first stat.
Yeah.
Wait, did he?
The best is John Wall. Yeah, John Wall's the
I'm
best.
torn on this one.
So just for the record, James Harden 32, Dwayne Wade 26. Harden's still playing. It's very possible Harden passes Wade before everything's.
I see
done.
the chat. It's the same thing, and I'm not as big a believer in Harden either. But people think Harden like blows Wade out of the water.
Hang on, can we just define how we're because I'm guessing Jack is saying like a better player like in their prime. Like,
we're obviously not saying like accolades. Like Wade has 3 rings. That's not close.
But when we say best player of all time, like we're factoring in accolades and resume.
Yeah. But I also think Wade, Wade 2 of those rings, he was LeBron's teammate. He was spectacular in 05-06, but I don't know. I think revisionist history on Wade will be like he shot.
I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree.
He shot 24% from 3 in his career. Like,
are you looking at something?
No. I was looking at the numbers yesterday. Like like go look at his prime. He was a 26%. I mean, Jordan was the same,
Yeah, it's just like it's not really comparable. I don't think.
Yeah, it's
like
just always
Harden's a better scorer than Wade was. Like
Right.
Harden's
And a
probably
better passer,
one of like
and a better
the few
passer.
best scorers like
and
ever.
a better passer. So it's like,
yeah,
Definitely.
what did Wade do besides block shots better?
He got to the rim very well. He had a good mid game, but Harden gets to the rim
Harden's
really,
one
really
of the
well as
best
well.
at getting to the
Yeah.
rim in the league and drawing foul. Like there's
Dwayne Wade was
definitely
a spectacular athlete for a stretch of time.
Oh,
And not to, I'm torn because I
unbelievable.
love both players. I think Harden's actually pretty criminally underrated, but Wade was a spectacular defensive player, and he was the best athlete on the floor for a long stretch of time. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like Wade and LeBron as the best athletes in the league for 6 years there. Maybe Westbrook when he first came in, came by him, but I mean, Wade was just so electric defensively and was unstoppable getting to the rim. I mean, that year that they won with Shaq was some of the best basketball, you'll see. I mean, I think
it
Harden
was
had a
like
chance
the
to pass,
second best. No, he had like the second best finals performance of all time. Like that's how good he was in that first
Yeah,
final.
he also like in more intangible stuff was like significantly more clutch than Harden has ever been.
Oh,
And, like
yeah.
has consistently performed better in like high impact games and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Mike,
Which is like totally intangible and relatively not super valuable. But
I count that stuff though. Who are the 5 names below Dwayne Wade?
Below meaning ranked higher or
The
lower?
other way, like worse than
Worse?
Mm.
Giannis, Stockton,
Okay,
AI.
time out. Like Giannis, he's objectively better than Dwayne Wade, right? Like this list is clearly off accolades. Like Giannis is. Like,
Yeah, but Giannis has played what 6-7 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the conversation. If Giannis never played another game, I think that's how they're
Right.
doing this.
Okay, so who else is?
Giannis, Stockton, AI, Nash, Isaiah Thomas, and then Harden. I hear what you're saying, but it's more of like an era thing, though. Like in Wade's era, Wade was like a top 3 player. In Harden's era, Harden's a top 5 player, I guess.
No. Harden was the best player in the world, like besides LeBron. You're on mute.
I mean, Harden's been MVP.
Yeah,
I think they're quite similar. I bet at the end of the day, Harden might surpass him, but the brand and just like the perception of Wade is higher. And look at Wade Wade off the court is making a lot of moves.
For sure.
I look, I agree. So back to the initial rant, I'm surprised Wade, AI, and Shaq, given that there are 990 Top Shot debuts of each of these players, are trading below Ja and Zion right now.
I totally agree.
Rookie thing. Yeah, I hear the rookie thing. I'm the first one to say S1 is a special series. I still don't agree with that. So I'm trying to act on that. Basically, I have a Zion listed right now, and if it sells, I'll buy a Wade right away. Because I think Wade and AI should be the same. I think Shaq should be ahead of them. I'm surprised AI is so far ahead of Wade from a value standpoint.
Well, AI just has such a cultural, I don't know, something about AI. It just he feels like Vince Carter in like he wasn't the best player ever, but he's like incredibly loved.
So I agree, and his actual play is way cooler. But Wade has a championship badge, and I think a good thing for him is that he's going to be involved with the platform. It looks like he's part of the marketing plan. He's participating. He's posting about the platform, which brings his fans to the table, who will buy his moment. So I'm just surprised they're not at least closer.
What do you guys? I think it was probably an interesting marketing decision for Top Shot to obviously Wade in 05, 06, in his prime there. So they marketed this series around him. But then, like Andy said, Shaq and Iverson, I would argue, have way more cultural relevance than Wade. And so that's like an interesting thing to me too. Like, what if they threw their weight behind like this was the Iverson set, even though he was at the more tail end of his career there? I mean, what do you guys think of that?
I have no clue how long it took to get all this kind of together, or if they did it with a player in mind. But like timing wise, Shaq released his own NFT in the past, I think 2 weeks or something, and he puts his name on literally everything. So I don't know if it would have been as big an impact. It was cool to see his son even quote tweet his tweet. And AI, I think you would have had to obviously go to. So I think one of the big questions is like I assume they won't do run it back with finals moments, right? So like AI step over Shaq, some of his greatest moments are obviously in the finals in the
Why not? Why do you think they wouldn't do that?
I mean, they have
Robert Ory's going
right?
to have no moments otherwise.
No. I'm saying they would do a different set, like
I see.
a
I see,
legendary
I
or something.
I
Like
got
that.
you. I got you.
I also hate the play they chose for Wade and Shaq, but that's for different time.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
surprised
hear
they're
what you're
like-
saying.
Yeah, and like because I'm surprised they're like I'm trying to rotate like that. I did go in. I bought 3 Wades, but I sold a Morant to get a 4th Wade. That's where I'm at right now. Now, if I sell the Zion, I'll get another Wade.
Andy, have you done any marketplace purchases?
I bought 1 AI with my account balance, and I haven't really had time to get into it. I at some point plan to buy multiple of Shaq, Wade, and AI. I totally agree with Mike. To me, they're the 3 I want to target 100%. The LeBron one is interesting. Like the idea of getting a LeBron Cavs moment is like fun, but the fact that it's not a Top Shot debut and also not a rookie feels like it's just going to easily be diluted by other stuff that's added to the platform.
Yeah,
and like
That's what Mike said earlier.
I have to imagine at some point, yeah, and I totally agree. And like I have to imagine at some point they're going to have a LeBron rookie moment that just feels inevitable, and that's going to be LeBron in a Cavs jersey. And so then like, why is anyone going to care about this one?
right.
So my counter was that, like, all right, if let's say that Dwayne Wade's a top 25 player of all time, right? LeBron's the second best player of all time, or first in some opinion. In the collectible market, like no one buys Dwayne Wade cards, and there's a million variations of LeBron that all sell for thousands of dollars where there's a high supply count. So I just prefer anything LeBron over anything else, which is, look, if you think that, I mean, it's such a small limited quality Top Shot, like quantity, like it's only 1,000 of these top 25 players ever. That is pretty insane. I think it will dilute, but it won't, like, you're not going to see what happened to Series 2 where, you know, those moments, what was it? The no look was selling for 1,000 and then it was $50 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What do you?
No,
Yeah.
and I
Real quick.
agree, Jack. Go ahead, Pete.
Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
I agree that like all things equal, I would rather have a LeBron James moment than a Dwayne Wade moment. It just, in that case, I wouldn't be buying that LeBron James moment. And so like, I still believe that probably the best thing you could do on Top Shot, if all you care about is making money, is just only buy LeBron James moments.
Yeah.
Andy and I are just saying the same thing. The biggest mistake I made in this whole thing was just when I first found Top Shot and I was just going all in on LeBron. Yeah, if your goal is to make money, you should just only buy LeBron.
Yeah.
What is
But, like,
I mean,
for me,
I
it's
don't
mostly
see
just
how
having
that
fun.
doesn't work out. Like, I mean, maybe Giannis. I mean, we'll see. I saw Milwaukee was killing the Nets earlier.
They're up by
16.
13 right now.
Yeah. Oh, well, wait for this and one.
What is your guys'
There's a chance. There's a chance Giannis has like an outside chance to become like right up there as like the GOAT. I mean, this
He's like what, 26?
Yep.
27?
Yeah, Jack, you were running off his stats earlier. It's like insane what he's accomplished.
He is the only player who has more accolades at this age ever was Magic Johnson.
Yeah. I mean, if
Yeah.
Giannis,
He's my
I
pick
mean,
for
if-
MVP again.
Also,
If Giannis-
Giannis's game is so it's so easy to repeat. Like he doesn't need anything to change. Like he's gonna get his points and like it's unstoppable.
his stats last year were insane, and it was just voter fatigue why he wasn't in the
Yeah.
MVP conversation. But literally, and I know it's probably unlikely given he's had so much time, but if he develops any sort of reasonable shot, I mean, it's over. Like, especially after winning the championship and the team. I mean, he has Drew being on that team, coming off the championship, that swagger that they have now, and like the monkey off their back. I mean, we could see a pretty strong sequence from Milwaukee here over the next couple of years.
Pete, that's what I was saying earlier today and all over the summer was like, yes, he could win a championship in Milwaukee, but imagine they put him on like an actual super team. Then it's no question he is winning 3 rings in a row. Like put him with Steph or put him with Durant or like AD. Imagine him and Anthony Davis if Davis stayed healthy. Like Drew and Chris are great players, but they're not superstars. Like they're stars.
Yeah.
You don't want a super team, Wade and Bosch level stuff. It's like you're winning. Then it gets serious. He could win 6, 7, 8 rings. Like it's absurd.
He has equity to be considered the GOAT. I mean,
yeah.
So that's the only thing that changed the thesis, but still agree with Andy, agree with Jack. Wish I would have just piled in LeBron. And that's probably still like the best thesis.
Jack mentioned the thing with Shaq releasing his own NFT, and I think I saw a tweet earlier this week. I don't remember who did it, but it was just talking about why these NBA players don't necessarily, in general, like to throw themselves behind Top Shot. Like, it doesn't seem like NBA players find Top Shot super cool. Obviously, we have exceptions like Halliburton and Josh Hart and stuff like that, but how do you guys foresee this playing out? I mean, I'm sure it all comes down to money and how incentivized they can be. But how do you guys see the future of Top Shot as it relates to players being very excited about their moments being on the site?
Go ahead, Jack. You look like you're ready to go.
No. I think it's pretty simple. Like, we saw how engaged the players were in the beginning, and then they saw how much money there were in NFTs, and they probably get 0.000% to the NBA Players Association, and they're like, I'm not gonna promote this product that I'm making pennies on the dollar. I'll create my own, or I'll partner up and do my own. That, I think it's pretty simple, to be honest.
No, I think it's simple too of why that's happening. I'm wondering, is there something that can be fixed with the incentives? Because I mean, if you have these guys so amped on their moments, I mean, that certainly changes things.
I always said the key is just do a revenue share, and you give Anthony Edwards a link to it, or a code, or even you just say, if you promote this, you're gonna get a rev share on this, and they can mint, like almost like Topps now does it. Like, if something crazy happens in the middle of the season, they'll just create a special trading card for that. Like, if they could turn that Anthony Edwards dunk around in 2 days, come to an agreement on a rev share, and he just promotes it, like, that's almost a guaranteed sellout. It's guaranteed money for them. It's more than any sponsor or brand's going to pay them for that amount of time. I think that's a reasonable way to do it.
So I think the challenge they have right now is they've opened the Pandora's box of compensating players for participating. So at that point, you've lost any chance for organic engagement. And so you're not really going to see someone buying into Top Shot the way they might buy into Bored Apes or Punks or something like that and post about how excited they are, because they know if they don't do that and they hold out, Dapper will pay them to do that. And so why would they do that? So I think that's one big problem right now. And even in the Anthony Edwards example you just gave, it's different. It's it's like when you're watching a commercial on TV. Like we know Steph Curry's not that excited about Gatorade. Like, he's getting paid to do a commercial where he's excited about Gatorade. It feels different seeing Anthony Edwards posting, but it'll get eyeballs. But it's not the same thing as when Shaq seems excited about creatures and is like putting up videos that I don't think he's getting paid for it, but it just seems organic excitement. And maybe it is ultimately to just release his own NFT, but he's not getting directly compensated to say the words he's saying. And then the second thing is, I don't know if this exists, because I think a lot of them are true fans of the game and love basketball, but it's also, it's their job. They may want to do something else for their hobby, not necessarily basketball for a profession, basketball for a hobby and a collectible too. That they want to try out something else and get their mind off of basketball when they're out on the court.
That was my take too, Mike, that you see, in the same way NBA players are into music and they're into fashion and stuff, like, I feel like they want an escape from the world of basketball. You even saw people, I saw Bethany in the chat talking about the Shane Battier moment. He was having fun with it on Twitter, and people were joking around that they wanted to see a charge moment. And he's like, I actually don't want to relive that over and over again. I'm fine with the moment they chose, but it also kind of illuminates for these guys. There is this, I think they appreciate a little bit of a distance from some of this stuff, and they want to have interests outside of it. And that's why they're so captivated by some of these other NFT projects.
Yeah, agreed. And so I think, the challenge, again, I don't think there's anything they can do at this point except for just bring in kind of normal sponsors and ads. I don't think we're going to get the organic engagement anymore. The cat's out of the bag at this point.
There's got to be a way, though, for them to figure it out.
But I don't think it'll ever be like organic. The kind of I'm just excited about this. I'm part of the community.
Okay, I'll give you the perfect example of what brings it back is the rumored platinum or whatever, the 1 of 3s. If you gave the player, one of their most rare moments, then they're financially staked to it, and then you could kind of see an organic engagement. Like, it's not technically organic, but yes, that is a way to.
But what are they incentivized to do at that point? If they push
pump
their own
bags.
Pump their own bags.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think there's a challenge when Josh Hart is getting packs and Dwayne Wade's getting paid, and then if you're some other player and you come along, they give you a platinum ice, are you going to go and put it on your Twitter for free when everyone else is getting paid to do it?
If it drives the price up.
Yeah, I do think it. Yeah, I mean, don't we see this in the world of regular NFTs? Andy can speak on this too. Like projects mint directly to big wallets, whether for trying to deceive people on the fact that Pranksy minted or received these, but like this idea of giving influencers, NFTs, that is not novel whatsoever.
One of the things that is super complicated with it all is like they make so much money from their contracts, right? The players that at least are relevant and that we care about, so that you're rarely going to get a moment that's going to be worth their time. But then the brand deals that they get aren't as lucrative as you think. So if you find that balance and those those moments just have to be worth what they're worth. And then there can be a fair balance.
Yeah. So I'll play a bit of devil's advocate. It's not even devil's advocate, but do we think it matters? Personally, I don't think that NBA players being organically excited about Top Shot at this point really matters.
I think it's fun. I think it's fun. Even if it doesn't help my bags, I think it's
what. Why not, Andy? I mean, in the same way, people will get excited to buy a jersey of a player. Isn't part of the thesis like you would want to buy a Top Shot moment of your favorite player instead of their jersey? And wouldn't them being excited about their moment help facilitate that?
Do NBA players organically advertise how cool their new jersey is?
No, but it's also apparel is an established thing where their audience knows about jerseys. Their audience doesn't know about Top Shot.
Yeah. So like to me, I think that paid advertising with NBA players is great and more than enough. And like, that's how basically everything becomes popular that like has advertising from athletes. Like, what is an example of something that athletes have organically become really interested in and like, or just really famous people in general become really interested in and then like post on about social media because they're super interested in it. And then it like hits escape velocity and becomes incredibly popular. I don't think that like really happens in life. And so I don't really expect that this is going to be any different. These are all incredibly wealthy people who have way more important things to care about than NBA Top Shot and probably will never really care about it, no matter how much like Dapper wants to pay them. And there's always going to be new people to pay. And that like just having FTX style commercials with these players, like how FTX has commercials with Brady and Curry and those guys, is enough to like get normal people to be like, oh, this is cool and I'm interested in this, and that's fine.
Do we think there's any path to, LeBron famously owns a number of his own rookie cards and valuable cards, but he just went out and bought them as an investment on himself.
He didn't buy them. He just held them. Yeah.
I don't know how it works with the
players. The players
you get a few of them.
Yeah, you keep a portion of them, or you can.
I always thought he bought them. Okay, so then never mind on that. But I guess he like talks about them and he's excited about them. Do we think that happens, or is that basically the platinum ice thing you were talking about at that point?
Yeah, it's probably the platinum ice, but I do think it definitely makes the product cooler and it makes the project cooler. And like when Steph Curry buys an ape, I mean,
yeah, it's fun. I just think it's like fun. Also, it's like
yeah. And I feel like that's how all like influencer stuff does, but it gives people permission, oh, Steph likes apes. Like it's okay for me to be into NFTs. I thought they were stupid, but Steph Curry likes them. So I guess I could like them too. So
it's I'll give you the real reason why. It just, the paid tweets and posts perform horribly. That's really,
I think like commercials and stuff is really what's significantly more interesting.
Yeah. Pete, from you're an influencer, you're a creator. Like when you are doing an unorganic post, it almost is a double negative. It's like, it's not going to come off organic and then it's not going to perform well, versus when Halliburton is quote tweeting stuff and like shows activity around it, then when it's actually go time for the call to action, it's fairly easy to do it. So that's really where I agree. If we could just pay these players to promote it, that's a perfect world. But it's because they're not into it in the first place that's what kills it when it even comes go time.
I want to loop in Pete here because I was listening to the Invest Like the Best podcast that had SBF on it earlier. I saw Pete quote retweet that, and they were having a conversation about marketing. And Patrick O'Shaughnessy thought it was a little interesting, just kind of FTX's approach with marketing, and that they were almost taking a more, I don't know, establishment angle to their type of partnerships and branding. Pete, what were your thoughts when you heard SBF talk about the FTX marketing?
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible podcast. I mean, that guy's just a total genius. It's just incredible. I mean, I think the big thing for them is, crypto is still, I mean, it's becoming more and more mainstream, but just adding credibility has so much impact, and they have massive economies of scale. And the more people they can onboard into this, they're just going to absolutely crush it. I thought he had really insightful points. I mean, I think Patrick asked good questions throughout that whole thing. And what I appreciate about SBF is he answers questions that are, I feel like when he answers questions, they're not necessarily biased towards himself, which almost everyone answers questions in the way thinking about it, what's best for them. Andy, I know you turned me on to, you've been a big SBF fan. And just real quick, I want to shout one other thing out. Did you guys see Hermsmeyer get in a freaking beef with SBF? I mean, what are you doing? I don't want to create a lazy lions thing again, but man, I don't want to be in the habit of calling people out. But imagine calling out SBF.
That started. Just to set the table, that started the other way. SBF shared Hermsmeyer's article.
I know.
Yeah,
because it was bad.
It was bad.
I saw that SBF post. I didn't see there was a follow up on that. All right.
Oh yeah, there's some.
Who is Hermsmeyer?
Josh Hermsmeyer. He writes for 538. He is.
He hates crypto, right?
Oh yeah.
I had to unfollow him. I like seeing other viewpoints, but like at that point, you're not open minded. It's not helpful to anyone.
Yeah.
What do you think, Pete? Because I didn't answer. I thought he had a lot of really smart points on it.
No, well, the thing I was asking you about was specifically about kind of the marketing and the partnerships that they've done. And basically what SBF was saying is that they probably could have more immediate conversions if they were doing Google and Facebook ads. But he thought that just the brand awareness and kind of the household name value of when people hear FTX, and it's not like, oh, this is a link, click this, like a Binance link, versus like, oh no, FTX is legitimate. Tom Brady's associated with it. The Miami Heat are associated with it. So I thought that was an interesting angle where it's like, he was saying, we know all the traders and people who are already well-versed in crypto, like our product is going to stand for itself, but we're trying to legitimize ourselves with the people who find crypto intimidating. And if we can make it less intimidating through these partnerships, that's how they win long-term.
Yeah, it's exactly like right. The avocado industry. You're like, when avocados became big, the avocado companies also had to advertise for like the greater good of just ease of use. In like avocado companies made avocados like popular, and crypto companies have the responsibility to advertise for crypto, but also their own, which I think is a cool situation. I think it's going to be the same with mental health, like Headspace, Calm, like they need to put a lot of marketing dollars essentially into the uplifting tide of these things are useful. Mental health is useful. I think it's very interesting.
What's your view on Headspace versus Calm, Jack?
I use Headspace, but I wish I used way more.
That's the right answer.
I think
baby. All right.
Yeah.
Are you guys Headspace investors?
Dude, how hilarious.
One of us is.
Yeah.
Thinking the SBF Hermsmeyer thing going to this, how hilarious would it be if two like meditation app companies had like a huge beef, like just saying the nastiest shit about each other? They're like actually
just dragging each other.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, full transparency, Headspace investor. But I do agree. I think there's some.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
You're an investor in Headspace?
That's where Jennings met my dad on a call about that.
I thought
it all comes full circle,
right?
Wow,
Jack, you were making
it all comes full circle.
About what? Headspace
About
and
him
the
being. You said, are they headspace
That's where I
investors?
meant-
No,
said,
I
That's
could
bad.
tell by their Jennings gets excited over two things: his daughter and
His bag?
sharp money bags. Yes,
Shooting props.
shooting prop. But that's normally a sharp money bag.
Sure.
I
Hope we
shot
said
for money this
brown
last week.
juice tonight, huh?
I mean,
Oh.
once I found out Pete got in on fucking Headspace, I mean, I can't.
He has
use
to be
that.
late. He's late.
I'm paying a monthly subscription to that site. I don't even use it during the season, and I'm just fucking sending money over to Pete every time that auto credit card comes through.
I do yearly, much sharper that way.
Guys, I shot this guy for money.
That's
And-
all right. You're gonna want to rephrase that.
Gosh dang it! I shot hoops against this guy for cash.
Clip
And
that.
yeah, I'm gonna need to rephrase that. But yeah, he challenged me. He's like, I was like, oh, you like to shoot hoops? He's like, I like to shoot hoops for cash. And I was like, oh, perfect. He shot
Oh my
50%.
God.
He shot 50% from three. We shot per spot, 10 shots per spot, and we were just it was the greatest thing ever. She did clean me on the golf course, but I got it back on the basketball court.
Who is it? Who is this guy?
It was
country
LeBron. It
club
was
guy.
a calm headspace battle.
No, the country club guy. It was perfect though. He shot 50%.
You finally found your match.
So did you just walk off the court after the third rack or what?
No, we did. We shot per spot.
Oh, you like
Yeah,
each
I think
went
the
like
worst I
10,
made
10,
out of
10,
10
10?
was
Okay.
7. And he never made more than 6. But the first one I made 9 out of 10. And he's like, oh, I was like, maybe I should have. I didn't know how good of a shooter he was. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should slow down here. It was the best thing of all time.
I did think it was weird that recently I saw a course in there that was a 3-point prop betting course, and it must have been, spurned on from that match he had with you.
Levitan and I had a nice little victory today, 2-on-2. So yeah, we're rising. Not ready for Jack yet, but I'm gonna lose 10, 15 pounds in the next 6 months. And
Yeah, I played in my league game last night. This team, if you cut, like they had no interest in guard. I had 17 assists in the game, and we scored like 54 points. It was the most
Jack's basketball
ridiculous-
game was impressive. Can we?
It was the
Let's
most
all
ridiculous
acknowledge Jack
game.
was really
Yeah,
good.
we can, but did you really keep track of how many assists
Yeah.
you had?
No,
played with
no,
guys
no.
who
I
keep
stopped
track of their
counting.
stats.
I
It's the
stopped
worst.
counting. No, people, they do keep track of points, but I hate checking point. Like I could care less. I like wins and assists.
I could
Those are
care
my
less. I had 17 assists.
No, I'd made that number up, but it was probably a low ball on myself. But point being, guard the cutter.
I had a guy I used to play rec basketball with that would tell us his full stat line after every game. I was like, how can you even calculate this stuff in your head?
You are lucky because the league I play in, Basketball City, normally in their facility, like they film the entire games for you. So normally I'd have a little mixtape for everyone, but right now
Next time, hopefully.
next in the winter I got you guys. No sweat. No problem.
Thank
I
God.
can't wait to see another spin move from Jack. I mean, just that spin, it's just devastating.
Just the patience, the footwork, it's great.
Yeah.
We're getting a
basketball's
little
fun.
insight into the day of Jennings, by the way, Overzet. You're getting your wish. We had the shooting
Yeah.
props earlier. Then
Yeah,
the
keep
Levitan
going.
I'm working hard, but
Levitan
then, you know, I'm
2-on-2. Yeah.
We played a little 2-on-2. Levitan and I actually shot with I'll shout out another company. I invest in this company called Grind. They're on Shark Tank. They make a shooting machine. Yeah, really cool. You can look it up. It's on Shark Tank.
Yeah,
How
he's
was
like
it found?
really.
Would you
towing the line.
would you say you're a grinder?
By the way,
I
investing
actually
in
am a grinder. I know what
would've
you
been-
guys are inferring here. You're trying to take it to another level, but poker grinder, DFS grinder, basketball
NFT
grinder.
So all I took from this episode is that Pete shot a guy for money and then invested in Grinder.
Yeah, the shooting. I'm gonna have to go away from shot. That's you're right. That's not gonna play very well. Someone's gonna
Speaking
misinterpret
of
that.
being
at
a
some
grinder,
point.
do you guys have any drafts going for underdog for tonight?
Oh yes,
Oh,
this
you
episode is the best. Let's pump. Can we start pumping underdog? Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
What do you
100%.
got?
It
Andy,
was,
you look like you're placing right now.
No, I'm deep out of the money right now.
You didn't have
Who,
one. In the
who did
game?
you go hard on that didn't play well?
Well, the second game hasn't started yet.
I know.
I have
know,
a lot
but,
of. I think I'm underexposed to KD of all of the KD and
I've heard
Harden
he-
in general. I just based on I only did 16 drafts, which I
Oh,
know
you're
sounds
talking
ridiculous.
best ball. Are you talking best ball?
No,
Or
this
the-
is
or
just
the-
the games just for
Har-
tonight.
Yeah, Harden didn't do shit tonight.
Yeah, well, so I'm just all my players haven't played yet. I have like a
Okay, so
ton
you're in
of
good shape.
the Lakers' big three. Yeah, no, I'm in good
If
shape.
you avoided Harden, you're in good shape. Yeah. Durant,
Yes,
I
There's
thought
not
was
a
going
big
to get
three.
yanked
Russell Westbrook
earlier.
is going to be awful this year.
Really?
Yeah, awful.
I think
Maybe in the
they're-
regular season it'll be good, but come playoff time,
Really?
I
think
actually
they're-
agree with that. I think they're going to use Westbrook like crazy in the regular season to let LeBron and AD kind of chill, and then in the
Yeah.
playoffs it'll be LeBron and AD time. So yeah,
Yeah.
I
But I
agree with
don't.
that
But I don't
completely.
think that'll make them bad. Like you think Westbrook will be a net negative almost?
I think there's a chance. I think Westbrook will put up good numbers. I think it'll be really helpful to spell LeBron. If either one gets injured, I think Westbrook will win some games. But come playoff time, it'll be interesting. I bet Westbrook might get sat down in some of these moments.
yeah. If he could, he needs to develop a shot. Otherwise, he doesn't have a role in the playoffs.
God,
I'm actually
I
really
don't know.
excited to see the Lakers like
He's a good 6-man
ancillary
in
guys.
the playoffs.
Westbrook off the bench. He averages.
I think that sounds
They'll
crazy.
Start him. They'll start him, and they should sit him after like 3-4 minutes, and then bring him in when LeBron or AD comes out. That's what I would do.
I get it because of how like ball dominant LeBron is, and they play the exact same games, and LeBron's a better version of Westbrook. But I think Westbrook got a tough, I don't know, look last year. Like the first half of the year, people were like, he's washed up, and then he was minus 500 to have like a triple double every night by the second half of the year. I think there's as much as you think he could end up on the bench for. I think this could be the best big three LeBron's ever played with.
Jack thinks he's better than Dwayne Wade, top 10 player of all time.
Westbrook's peak.
I'm just baiting you into takes that get the
Westbrook's
chat
peak?
riled up.
I mean, Jack's player comp is Russell Westbrook. He told us.
That's true. That's true.
Below the rim, Russell.
But
Westbrook.
yeah,
Um,
of course, of course.
Yeah, I kind of agree with
actually-
Pete that I wouldn't be shocked if he in the playoffs played like every minute LeBron isn't on the court, Westbrook is on the court.
But that would be
Which, granted, that's
that would
like
be-
4
Yeah,
minutes
that's
in the
like 12
playoffs,
minutes a game.
but he'll play with LeBron as well. I think
Yeah,
that
some
like,
overlap. Yeah.
Yeah. What's frustrating about Westbrook is like he should be good at being an off-ball guard because he's incredibly fast. He can finish at the rim decently well, and so if he can just like cut a lot, LeBron can always get him the ball.
Is
He
there
doesn't
proof?
cut.
Is there proof
He
that
doesn't
he's
play.
not,
His off the ball game is horrendous.
is
And
there
have you seen
proof
his
that he's
defense?
not good though? Off
His
the-
defense is
Yeah, we've
abysmal.
never
I'll
seen
send
him
you
off the
that
ball.
clip. I mean,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable how bad his defense is.
You do have to
Well, yeah,
remember
his defense
who
is gonna be
he's playing
terrible.
with. He's literally playing with LeBron. Like LeBron does
And
tend to
AD.
yeah, it's gonna be. I think the
Can we pump AD's bag a little bit, by the way? Like, he's
AD
so
is
good.
amazing.
Can he
Let's pump
please
AD.
stay healthy this year?
just to circle back to our Giannis conversation in 30 minutes tonight, 32, 14, and 7 on 50%. Like, and it's you don't blink at these numbers. Like they're Shaq
Yeah.
level number. It's absurd. Like LeBron didn't do this.
Yeah,
In the
and
regular season.
2 blocks and a steal also just like
Yeah.
on top of it for fun. Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
This comment reminds me. So it was just a week ago that we told the Lazy Lions to fuck off, and I want to read a DM I got from a member
From Tyrese Halliburton.
no. Let's see if I can find it here. No, this is.
By the way, did you
showing-
see that Coinbase NFT handle promoted Lazy Lions?
Did
Are
they?
you serious?
Oh,
I'm dead serious.
That's
I'm down, we're down
I
bad.
mean, it's organic too. I mean, they're Lazy Lions and
Hey,
They're
I'm-
relentless. Relentless.
Listen to this comment because I thought we might have provoked them. This is a comment. I just watched your stream and now I understand you were trolling the Lions. Made me laugh, but also I just bought one, so I have mixed feelings. This prompted a discussion from some of us in the Discord where most expressed that they were tired of our raid tactics. Thanks for prompting this positive change. I definitely didn't realize the reputation before getting in on Lazy Lions, but I hope as a community, we start doing more quality, less quantity, less spammy posts. This was something we had just talked about in the Discord too. Really appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. I'm curious what people aside from the Twitter Discord basses think. So the Lazy Lions, we told
That
them
is a
to fuck
great
off,
DM, by the way.
and they can, I know I should have replied.
No,
to it.
it's not.
That
I'm
is a great
disturbed.
DM.
I'm disturbed because I can actually visualize like they probably host like these weekly town halls, and they have like a 98% attendance rate from all holders. They're the sickest people.
It's the community.
It's absurd.
I'd also say
Yeah.
not much has changed. Like today on the Coinbase announcement,
Yeah, Pete, put
every
that
single
up.
reply was a lazy line. I was like, come on. I was like, be better than this. We're about more than this. And then Coinbase responds to it, and it just incentivizes more of this crap.
Roar louder for the people in the back. I love their social media entrance. Like, we're getting a lot of heat from these lions. Do you think we should toss them a bone? Look at this. Roar. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. The art sucks. I mean, like, what do you want me to say?
What has anyone chat? Oh my god, the floor is dropping since we fudded them.
The floor and everything's down.
Look at
Time to
all
buy low.
All right, this Photoshop is absolutely absurd. I mean, what is going on here?
I mean, look at the engagement. The engagement's
is
off the charts.
chain. Well, that's why I,
Look at this.
I did my NFT bro video last week, and I didn't get in a Lazy Lions reference, which is just like the biggest miss of all time.
Yeah.
People are saying if they renamed it the Cool Cats and it was just like the Lazy Lion set, that it would be the highest grossing.
Yeah, people are saying that.
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
This is them toned
fuck
down. by the
LeBron
way.
getting
Look
to
at
the
this.
top shot.
It's
incredible.
never ending. I'm still scrolling.
Look how many likes every one of these gets. You post a lion, you get a bazillion. They're trained to just create engagement. It's
This is after the intervention, also. After the intervention.
I like P Dog 8888's reply that they're probably all low T.
Oh my goodness. This is an insane clown posse, or what do we have? Is this Kiss?
No, it's a
like,
Kiss, yeah.
yeah, Kiss. I was like, what
Wait,
the
are
fuck?
people actually disliking this YouTube video? Do they?
Oh, the
drop it?
Lions are pissed again. We get them riled
Yeah.
up every week.
They gotta love this exposure. This is all what they're all about.
Look at this.
How are they
I
on
mean,
top of all this? They're like, someone's like, oh, Club Top Shot's talking about it again. Release the hounds. Like, let's, like what?
They've got like sentries posted everywhere.
I'm still scrolling. It's never ending. Like someone, okay, just what are you doing, bro? You can't put that in your house. Like, what the fuck?
Imagine you bring someone up.
What's that? What's the one at the face mask? What's that one
It's
called?
disturbing.
That's Kid 8.
Yeah, Kid 8.
That,
okay,
that guy's
yeah.
art is good.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't
that
hang
one
it
is
on
the
my wall,
weirdest
but
of the
it's-
three. I would
Oh,
probably
yeah.
put a goats on
Yeah,
my
this
wall
is
before the Kid 8.
Let's give them a little bit of credit here. I mean, this is
The pride of NFT.
the pride is strong. The pride is. I mean, they're a pack.
God, is Jennings about to go buy a lazy one?
Oh, no.
He would never. He would never. If
I would never
if
buy
he
one.
guaranteed Jennings a 10x, I don't know if he'd do it, which says a lot.
I can't. I mean, imagine like rallying together to go dislike a video. That's when I was a little tipsy. I'll admit it, but I lost my mind there.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, how does imagine
I'm
going
still
around
scrolling.
to dislike videos, and then we called them out, and they started undisliking the video. I mean,
Yeah,
It was
it's like, oh
outrageous.
shit,
Can you
they're
find-
onto us, guys.
What's the rarest one? Like, I think I
The
saw-
rarest ones are like very custom one of ones.
Oh yeah, the highest last sale.
I mean, this is
$9.90.
look,
I'm
guys.
still scrolling. I'm still scrolling.
It's impressive. Look at. I
What
mean,
the
these guys
fuck?
are relentless.
Surround
Is it a
yourself with those who are
prerequisite if you own a
hungry.
lazy lion to have to be on Twitter 24/7?
Yes.
Yeah, what if you just don't want to do this? Like, are you kicked out of the pride?
What is
How does
someone
it-
just said we roar like the new Cybertruck? I mean, like what even is this meme? Jesus.
I mean, you're still going.
I'm gonna keep going. Like I can't stop now. They couldn't even afford getting rid of the easy GIF watermark here. We're roaring to the moon.
Can we find the number one rare one? CP Trey says it's kind of sick. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
I don't know the number
It
one.
looks
rare,
like
but
Mike's
the
in the
highest-
mood to shop.
Yeah, I mean, I had a big
Highest
sale
sale
today. I had a big Top Shot sale today, you know?
highest sale is 99 ETH, which is like a plain cub. And then there's
Oh,
one for
no.
20.
Is LG part of the Lazy Lions?
Yes,
No.
I
Oh
think he
my
is.
God,
I think he is.
LG.
No. This would be
Rough for
devastating.
LG.
LG is one of my favorite people. This could This could be a really
I think he
traumatic
is a
evening.
lazy lion holder.
Now he's being nice to Clay.
The two worst things you could do.
I'm saying he's so pure of heart, LG, but it would be so devastating if it turned out he's a lazy lion.
Let's pump the Lucky Trader bags here. We'll see.
I knew I needed to come on tonight. You guys are just. What else can we pump?
Oh, come on, Jennings. Come on.
Number one?
You're walking right into it. Wait, that's the number one?
It's
awful.
I mean, what's going on? Dude, I would buy a lazy lion if this is what it looked like.
Yeah, that one's sick.
I love this.
So I'm only interested in the fish version.
The one on the left sold for 99 ETH. The one left of this one.
The Simba looking one?
Yeah.
I like the cloud one.
That one's pretty cool.
I mean,
wait, that one's for sale, huh?
How much?
$222 for the cloud. It
sounds
like
cheap.
a deal.
Sounds very cheap.
I mean, to get into that kind of community, what price?
Multiples higher than any Top Shot sale ever.
All right. Think about this as a marketing play, though. If you're like a brand, if you spent 100 ETH, 300 grand, and you had unlimited engagement under every tweet for the rest of time, it could be worth it.
Jack, seriously,
that old gold one looks rare for sure.
Buy one of these fuckers for the Knights of DGen Vault. I'm telling you right now. Just do it.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. Do it.
But do we?
I would say it's actively a good idea.
It's a very good idea. Buy the fucking fish lion.
Should we just hit this on the head? We're all going long.
We should get the
lions.
night one.
Is that a lionfish?
Yeah.
Is that what a lionfish looks like?
Yeah.
How much is that one for sale?
It doesn't look like it.
Damn.
But the gold one is $149. Okay, can we talk about the Bored Ape that Kalish sold today? Went for 10 times higher than any Top Shot moment has ever sold for. How is that a thing? That blows my mind.
Sounds like someone who's biased towards their own bags.
I've got punks. I've got punks, and they float around up there. I'm just shocked.
You don't have apes, and you're long Top Shot.
Pete, you fudded apes.
I don't have apes. Yeah.
Had on this show.
No, Pete came around. Pete came around.
Pete came around.
I have half an ape. I mean, I don't know. I was wrong. I was point blank wrong. Blatantly wrong.
Did you say you have half of an ape?
I'm a fractional owner. Yeah.
You own a fucking fraction of the ape and have it.
Can you show us your ape? What ape do you have?
Yeah, I can.
You don't know what it looks like.
He's so embarrassed that he owns half an ape.
Is it rare?
Yeah, it's rare. You got the robot eye, cowboy hat.
Who's the other fractional? Is
Can
this
I
you
see
and
Kalish's
Ashley?
age?
Kevin Casada, CTO of Lucky Trader. Shout out to Kevin.
Kevin's the man. Big fan.
Kevin's awesome.
Yeah, Kevin is awesome.
I will say.
Here, I'll put. I don't know what number it is, but I'll put the picture in our.
For threes, probably not gonna work.
Oh, can you not load pictures into the chat?
Pete, you're such a boomer. Just share your screen.
You want me to share my screen? Sure. I don't really want to
see the
show my
perverted shit
Telegram,
I'm
but I guess
looking
that's
at
what.
Pete, there is. You can do a Chrome tab. You don't have to do the entire monitor.
I don't even know what to do. I mean, I'm lost here. I'm just a total donkey.
Pete, first of all, also while we're doing this, I need to. I apologize to all the VIPs. Was hoping we were going to be able to rip packs tonight. I will say this. I understand if you guys don't want to wait to rip. You guys have an open invite to come on next week and open them, or maybe we could open them in voice chat sometime this week in the Discord. So we can regroup on that, but sorry, it didn't work out. And instead I get to explain screen share to Pete here, which is really a joy for me.
Yeah, it's good.
Pete, there's
Jack, while Jennings is figuring this out, why are you so confident in the Lakers tonight?
Look at how Pete shared the screen.
Okay.
And look what else I got in that. Look what I got off the corner over there. I got my punk profile picture. I got my toad. Oh, now I got my ape up there.
That's unbelievable.
And you have relocated items.
That's true. And I got another screenshot up there. Something else. Yeah. Move that over there. All right, I'm done sharing the screen.
I mean, Pete, you didn't have to share the whole screen. You could have done a browser window.
Which one is?
I don't know
which
anything
one
about
did
sharing
Kalish
screens.
sell, and how much?
669.6969.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. That's a
Yeah, it was like, what is
massive
it,
spread.
2.3 mil or something?
I mean, every time I look at his ape, I'm like, that's the best one. But then I see some other ones that are pretty dope. But I think he might have sold like one of the best ones.
Pete, I just want the record to show. I mean, you guys give me shit for my 8 Ethereum CryptoPunk call. You talked mad shit about the apes on here. You said Brandon
was wrong.
Stokely was talking. Okay. All right. I'm just making
I
sure.
was just with
that-
Stokely, and Stokely was, yeah, he was
He was
Giving
an
me the
ape.
business.
Was he,
owner.
was he
right.
pumping it?
Yes, he was talking about his ape.
Well, he was touting how right he was, but then he was also like, "Hey, do you want to buy part of the ape that I own?"
Brandon Stokely was trying to sell you part of his ape.
Yeah.
Because
Trying
he
to sell
needs
the top.
liquidity.
No, he's just. I mean, he's made a lot of money, and he's like, "Man, is this?" I mean, you know how it goes.
I don't.
Should I buy an ape
mean,
right now?
But
Brandon,
oh my
Brandon
god,
Stokely is as sharp as they come. That guy's a legend.
sharp
really
as they
is.
come, and he's trying to dump a piece of his ape. There you go.
I mean, he's the human horseshoe. He was buying like Muhammad Ali memorabilia like decades ago. He's sharp. Gotta give him
How
NBL?
old is he?
Stokely? I'd guess he's 40.
Yeah. This is buying Muhammad Ali out of the back of his mom's minivan.
I mean, when he was in the NFL, that's what he's doing. 45. Wow. All right.
Andy,
Wow, that's older than I would have guessed. Yeah.
Andy,
Me
if
too.
someone gave you 50 ETH right now and said you gotta go buy, a blue
A
chip,
lazy lion.
what would you buy?
Which lazy lion? Would
Let me pull up OpenSea just to make sure you actually can buy these
You can.
things.
There's some
for-
wiggle room in that vicinity.
All right. Let's see.
Would it be one purchase?
No, he can spread it out. I want to know where if Andy got.
Let's
just
go
a
around the
couple-
horn, and then we should play a little Lodden Thinks or something.
Yeah, we can do some Lodden Thinks. That sounds fun.
Well, so you could get like actually a pretty nice, pretty solid board ape for in that price range.
Oh, we're just sticking with the apes. I was hoping for some like insight here, so something sexy, something a little different. Just
No, to be honest, if what your like main concern is maximizing your return, I'm still really, really bullish on Chromie Squiggles.
that's what I was gonna say. No.
You could buy like I think you could probably buy like 4.5 based on like the floor price. So I would buy like a fuzzy and a couple floor Chromie Squiggles.
Or ribbed, maybe. Pump my bags.
I have the ribbed as well. I just think the fuzzy
The fuzzy
really
looks cool.
Yeah, like I saw someone call it the hoodie of Chromie Squiggles, which I thought was an
come
interesting
on.
idea. Where it's basically like the trait that looks really cool, and so is like will be priced higher than like its rarity would.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
watch Andy post that and say, comfy with my squiggle right here. All right, Mike, what would you buy?
I was gonna say squiggles. I'm really upset about that. Can I also say squiggles?
I'll allow
Basically, it seems like Art Blocks is pretty entrenched at this point. It's pretty universally accepted that they are the kind of premier house for art, and Chromie Squiggles are basically the punks of Art Blocks, if I can say that. And they've been pretty stagnant recently, which I don't think is the worst thing. They haven't gone down with the bear market overall. They haven't yet pumped in a serious way. And so I think it's in a nice sweet spot right now where it's still reasonably accessible relative to where it was. Obviously, it's a high entry point, but relative to where it was, it hasn't seen like an 8x like a lot of other high-end collections have. And I think it's a pretty stable and easy bet. And so I like that play.
Jack.
Yeah.
I have no clue what the price range is for the work, but Ferocious, can you get any of that work for 50 ETH? Or
Yeah.
I don't.
Well,
I'm not
the
sure.
one of one, the one of one's probably not, but like he's got some other stuff kicking around.
Yeah, that's a really interesting. It might seem short-sighted, and I don't love investing in necessarily like artists who are hot right now, but in 10 years, like who knows? But that's a really young kid that has incredible energy, that's going to be known as making art in this first initial NFT bull run. Just someone I would support, and I think has potential to do really crazy numbers down the line. And you see it happening now already with some of the work. So that's one off the beaten path I would throw out there.
Does anyone have a Ferocious? I have a
I don't.
collaboration he did. It's a one of 15 that he did with 3 other artists, which is cool. I like it. It came with a physical piece. I have a physical one that,
Really?
that he did. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That's cool. That he actually did.
He painted it with Jonathan Wolf. I don't know if you guys have seen that artist. He's pretty well known. But both of them painted it together. It's like a little like figurine looking thing.
Andy, what is your take? I mean, we've clearly reached like peak saturation with the profile pic projects, but I would also say,
Remember when we said that literally 6 months ago?
oh, I mean, we have the clip of
How
Andy saying it never fucking stops, and it has truly never fucking stopped.
It's crazy.
But I will also say it seems like a lot of the one-of-one art like hasn't necessarily fully pumped either. So where do you think we are like within the NFT landscape as far as what's going to hold up, like what's to come? We've seen lots of different metas as far as the DAOs, the staking, the vaults, like that stuff is pretty hot right now. But like, where do you see things going over the next couple months?
Yeah, I kind of agree with what Pete was saying kind of at the start of the show that it feels like while I don't think that NFTs are going anywhere, we're definitely in a bit of like a mania right now where just kind of like anything goes. People will buy or mint anything their friend sends them on Discord. I wouldn't be shocked to see like essentially as Bitcoin and Ethereum's prices are rising, assuming that they continue to do that, if NFTs like cool off for a bit, the things that are going to cool off the least are going to be the really high end stuff like punks. It are just like their floor is higher than a lot of other places, like a lot of other random NFTs floors, and more liquid. And so I think we'll see people realize like, oh shit, this random project that I bought that I thought could potentially 10x is not going to 10x, and I still want to buy a punk. But like a lot of the random stuff they bought, they don't actually care about or want to keep. If you can find the stuff people really do care about and want to keep, then that's like a really, really great risk reward. But I think we'll see, and I see someone say, I'm calling for an NFT winter. I do not think that is going to be the case.
Really?
I think these cycles are going to be incredibly fast, but like a month or two where it's like, oh, things are going down, and then, oh, things are going up. And I think that enough of those in a row, people will notice the really high-end stuff separate itself because it has staying power through these little mini cycles.
It's
how do you think the Coinbase situation affects all of this? Because we're about to get a massive influx of new users, and that could just light a flame under and things that have been languishing and struggling a little bit, or those could just die off and new things will emerge. I don't know. What do you think?
I really have no idea what to think about it, to be honest. I think that it'll be good. I mean, there's no way it's not good for NFTs, I would argue.
But it's good for like punks and squiggles, or is it good for like lazy lions?
I am not sure how bullish it is for really expensive NFTs in the short to medium term, just because
The
I
sticker
don't
shock
think
is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think someone's like avoided NFTs this entire time, and then they're like, "Oh, well, I can do it on Coinbase now. Well, I guess I'll try. I guess I'll go buy an NFT." They'd be like, "Yeah, 100 ETH, let's go. Give me a crypto." That just like doesn't feel like how people work.
I agree for the most part, but I also think we underestimate like the process. Like to get my dad to buy on Coinbase actually took like over a year before he purchased something because he just didn't want to link his bank account, all that. To then, if he wanted to put any meaningful money in, and then you told him he has to transfer it to a wallet where he's got to keep his own keys, like all, I think it does eliminate a million steps. That's why Dapper was so successful. But you're saying
I totally agree. I think in the long term for sure.
But are you saying you don't think like someone will throw 100 ETH into NFTs?
I don't think that in the next 3 to 6 months or some period of time. I don't know.
I think it's a shorter turnaround. Just think about like I don't know. Look around in the space today. People jump into Top Shot, and within 2 months, they're like, I don't know, buying Punk or Squiggle or Bored Ape for.
Well, yeah, but that had to do with how much money they made. I don't think that was,
Yeah.
you know, with some people it wasn't, but I think with a lot of people that was capital that they made from Top Shot or minting Bored Apes or buying them very early. That then
I think you're right for probably like 95% of people, but 5% of the new like 2 million users is still if those people go pretty hard into it, that moves the needle on some of these collections.
Yeah,
you don't need that many people. Yeah,
I was gonna say
it's gonna be interesting. Yeah,
for what it's worth, which I think is interesting. The other thing I was thinking about, Zed's doing this tournament now. It'd be interesting on a horse. I think there's some interesting ones there. The one new project that I think might actually have some staying power are the Toads still. I know we've seen a huge drop off and there was a massive run. That's an interesting of like the profile picture genre outside of punks, which I have high conviction in. I'd say Apes is probably the next most likely to be here in 10 years and be great. Toads might be number 3. What would you guys, if you guys had to pick another project?
I don't get the Toads. Why? I never understood why those went crazy in the first place.
It's just the community, bro.
it's not sustainable. This is.
It's not. I agree. It's not sustainable.
As someone,
So I don't think they're third. Yeah.
I don't own either of those. I will say, just for the longevity, I would say Cool Cats has a better chance at being third long time.
That's the other one I was going to say.
Andy might disagree with me. I personally think the Toads are cool. I don't have any of them, but I think the Cool Cats have a more, they can kind of meld into the mainstream more easily than like meme crypto Twitter can get the Toads, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I still don't get the Toads. Like, explain the Toads to me.
Toads are the Dogecoin of profile picture projects. They're hilarious.
Really?
They're stupid. They're fully open. No copyright. No licensing. You can do whatever you want with them. The guy who made them is like meme lord artist, and so basically, to me, like the bull case for Toads is that they're stupid, and like, you look at them and they're stupid, but they're well done because he's a very good artist. They're just dumb because he thought it was funny, and like the people who are buying the expensive Toads are very serious NFT collectors.
Right.
And they're not buying them to dump them. And so it's like this, it's kind of like, to me, it's like buying the #1 meme version of a profile picture project, which as I'm in general extremely bullish on memes and like how they like are going to grow through NFTs and just as people are more and more online. And so that's why I think that they're going to do really well.
Interesting.
I was going to say Cool Cats too. Shout out tonight to DGen. That's another one that we should be talking about, right?
What is?
Can you invest? You can. What's the? If you were to buy 50, if you were to invest 50 ETH into a Knights of DGen asset, Jack, what would you buy?
You bought the top 10 assets for that.
Yeah,
no?
you could buy some good ones. I'm trying to get the head bookie because that's my favorite one.
We're still waiting for you to change your profile picture to the project.
I know
that you're a community lead on, Jack. What's going on with that?
Everyone's waiting on that. I talked about it on the spaces we did yesterday. What's today? Tuesday? Yeah, yesterday. And I was like, it's so funny in the NFT world. Like, you're actually choosing your digital identity. And I was like, I'm probably going to take more than, 72 hours, 8 days, 2 weeks to make a decision like that. And I'm also waiting for the rarity tools and for all these different things to come out.
And the lucky trader.
Yeah, lucky
why don't you use the rarity tools? You have the lucky trader.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we on?
Jack, pump our bags. Knights of DGen, lucky trader, come on.
By the way, Jack, your profile pic now is freaking gold.
Yeah, the smile.
Your punk is elite.
Yeah, we like the smile. So I got to
smile.
I mean, you must
smile.
You just dunk on Pete all the time, just like, hey, look at my profile picture. That's what I would do. Just dunk on him. I mean, you look at your
I mean, I would say if I was highly invested in a new NFT that I just launched, I would probably make that my profile picture. Would kind of just be my play, Pete. But
that's a wild.
No, but you're a smiling punk. I mean, that trumps everything.
Does it?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
There's
Pretty
a
much,
lot
yeah.
of Knights of Degen owners who would probably appreciate Jack changing his profile picture. But
Yeah, they will, and for what? Like that. This is the thing, and this is how I wholeheartedly feel. I would bet against apes long term. I would bet against cool cats long term. I just maybe these projects stick, but like forecasted 24 months, and like if once again, Mike and I think Mike's on my side here. If the floor price drops, like what is the story versus Toads? At least you can convince yourself that you're investing in some hilarious meme shit post. Like there's actually a concept more than community. Like Andy doesn't hang out in the cryptos Discord for as much as I know. So I think the reason we're going to see a lot of blue chips continue to grow and a lot of projects like we're seeing now fall off is because they're literally profile pictures and no one cares about a shitty profile picture 6 months down the line. So yeah, I could obviously change my profile picture today. I could change it in a month, but we're working on actual shit. It reminds me, I think people could just study the Top Shot market. When everything's pumping, people are buying Ish Smith. And when it's not pumping, people are buying blue chips. That's just how the markets work. So yeah, I will change the profile picture.
I like it.
But I do think
Don't change it, Jack. Don't change it.
Your
profile
think
picture is legendary right now. Look how much
Keep
credit
the
you
smile.
I love Jennings. You come on here and say, let's pump all our bags. Let's pump Lucky Trader.
Just my
let's
bags.
pump
Let me
Underdog."
clarify. I
And then
want to
you're gonna
pump
tell
my
Jack
bags
not
and then
to pump his
that.
NFT bags.
No, I genuinely want to pump all the bags. Cheers, boys. It's great being with you guys.
Cheers.
You got any,
Cheers.
any drinks out
Yeah,
there?
Lou
Cheers.
said
I
it.
got a weird drink.
I am the anti-pumper of my
Cinnamon
own project.
toasty.
I said
Yeah.
to sell at certain points because I'm not really worried about floor price 11 days after a project releases.
I like this
not
Jack
healthy.
answer. This is good. This
To
is
be
good.
clear-
Doesn't care, but yeah.
I'm pretty bearish across, but the Zed might be the most interesting. Although there's a lot of games that are coming out, but I still Zed's interesting.
Well, Zed, this is probably the best time to buy on Zed because there's a lot of FUD with their regulations, and then there were no paid races. But if anyone was following the project from the start, we knew this was coming, right? We knew that big investors were coming. They were going to have to stop running Ethereum races so they could get legal licenses. So this would probably be a good time to buy on Zed.
Yeah, not financial advice, but we like.
Yeah, not financial advice. Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Mike, I'm surprised you haven't updated your pinned tweet with not financial advice.
Why? Do you think I give a lot of financial advice?
Sometimes threads of financial advice. No, last time we were talking, we were discussing if just
No, of
throwing
course, of
that
course.
in- yeah.
But you singled me out, and I don't know if I'm a big
You're the most
financial advisor.
No, you're just
You
the
saying my
safest.
tweets aren't full of financial advice? I think they're incredibly valuable.
Yeah. Andy, I cannot handle your I think you should leave tweets. First of all, I've watched 3 episodes now.
don't FUD
I
this
don't know.
show, Mike. Just be
No,
careful.
I'm not
about
funny.
what
I'm not funny. I think I need to have like edibles or hit a bowl first.
Wow.
But I will say, when I like think about the show afterwards, and then I see your stupid fucking post, it does crack me up. I'm like, that is funny. I need to go watch that. I get excited to watch it, and then I hate when I'm watching it. But then I laugh when I'm thinking back at it. I don't know what it's doing to me. It's like breaking me, but I'm enjoying the experience. And every time I see you post about it, I get a kick out of it, and I enjoy it. I send it to my wife because I make her watch also. I'm like, this is why it's funny, and this is why we watch. And she's like, you're an idiot.
This is why it's funny. I also, Mike, you sounded like a cop when you said, I need to hit a fucking bowl. I don't know why, but it was just the least chill stoner vibe delivery on that sentence I've ever heard.
Dude, Mike's a homie. We were smoking J's. I mean, Mike's a homie.
Yeah, come on.
With his
Let's
dad
pump
while
Mike's-
meditating.
Yeah, while meditating in the
then-
jacuzzi.
Look, I mean, I want everyone to enjoy. I think you should leave, but I mean, you don't need to force it. You can't force yourself.
I'm trying to
Wait,
understand.
you guys want to hear something horrible?
Yeah.
Allie hates.
Yeah.
I think you should leave. She
Oh,
thinks it's horrible. She refuses to watch it with me. I mean, because
That's
I
a pretty
probably
strong
watch the
take.
entire show like once every couple weeks, just to like when I'm bored and have 20 minutes, I'll watch an episode because like no matter how many times I watch it, it just brings me so much joy. And Allie's like, this is so incredibly stupid. I can't believe you're still watching.
What
this.
do you think is your biggest dopamine hit of something stupid? Like a shit post that goes viral, watching one of those episodes, minting of what are the Dom NFTs?
Oh, the comma gangs.
Yeah.
The comic gangs. I mean, honestly, like if the toads pump, like how have the comic gangs pumped yet?
I agree.
They're like the ultimate meme. I mean, I should.
It's,
change
I
my
mean,
profile
as
picture to
far
my
as I
comic
know,
gang.
it is the only NFTs you can buy of someone eating ass. And
Yeah.
that's
No,
just a
but
fact.
the challenge is for people who have like dedicated NFT anonymous accounts, that's fine. But like for anyone with like normal real life followers in their account, you can't post that. No way.
You absolutely.
I have one.
can. I didn't
Maybe I'll sweep
realize
the
that.
floor.
Andy, you do not qualify here. You've been in meme shitposting game for 5 years. The people following you on Twitter know.
Excuse me.
They
He
know.
runs a very successful company.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a
But I'm
very
just saying,
serious man.
Andy has set standards. People who follow him know what they're getting. He can do it. But you know, the average collector can do a toad, no problem. People are familiar with the toad. But the Comic King, I just don't know.
I mean,
Melo
you could-
hitting threes for the Lakers. How do we feel about it, boys?
I don't expect him to do it in the playoffs, man.
AD's pumping my bags. Let's go.
We were on Team Hold earlier, and we were asking Pete for all his NBA predictions. Andy, we saw your Twitter thread. Jennings, you got MVP picks, champion pick, rookie of the year, anything?
Yeah, I can.
I can
do all
fucking
those.
bullshit some takes right now.
No, championship. I'll still take the Nets.
Really?
Even after tonight,
You think Kyrie
Um,
plays?
I think they're a favorite without him. Still,
Really?
yeah, it's close though. Less margin for error. It's close. And Milwaukee's going to be real tough, I think.
Who's your sixth man of the
MV
year, and why is it Dennis Schroeder?
It's gonna be Russell
Dennis
Westbrook. 6 minutes.
Schroeder.
That's my
someone-
pick. That's
Someone
my
put
pick.
a little bit of shekels on Dennis Schroeder earlier today, live on stream, because I heard a thought leader said he liked the bet.
Slow-
I think that's a
Lomada.
huge mistake.
Why?
I just,
Say-
I
you
just
guys-
think they'll win it.
Schroeder's not even in the conversation now, is he?
Why?
Are you
Why?
kidding me?
Are you
He is on my
serious?
bet slips, Pete.
Yeah.
I
I think
guess.
I'm
I
so
mean,
fucked when they get a sports book. Me and Pete firing off on Dennis Schroeder. He'll be starting by next week.
all right. This isn't my
um,
real pick for sixth man of the year, but one of my favorite six man who I think is somewhat live would be Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I like
awesome
Brunson.
interview.
Nova
Brunson's so
alum, let's
sharp.
go.
Yeah, that would be my sixth man. Although Red Velvet Waiter, that might be my actual. If I had to bet something, I'd bet that.
Red Velvet?
MVP
Kevin Herter.
Kevin Herter.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've never heard that nickname.
Damian Lee is
Red
at the
Velvet?
free throw line right now. Shouts.
Damon
MVP
Lee-
is tough, but I think I'll stick with my correlated play. I say Kevin Durant gets an MVP this year. He was the best player in the league by far last year. He stays healthy. Give me the Kevin Durant. We wanted rookie of the year. I want to say Subs, but let me look at some odds here.
It's Green and Cade, then Mobley. Did you kick him?
Should
Why?
we,
Why did you kick him?
who? I didn't touch him.
Oh.
He kicked himself.
He
This
really
book-
wanted to look at some odds.
I mean,
Yeah.
can we just
In
let the
private.
record show why Pete's gone here? We've literally done a bit on this show where I lay out blow by blow how to screen share a Chrome tab, and this guy fucking shared his entire monitor. I mean, this guy is edgy
Yeah.
live material if I've ever.
He shared our private chat the one time he's ever written anything in it. He's got 4 of the 5 messages of our private chat. Just wanted to show that to the people.
there he
That was a man. I got rugged. I had to move my router closer to being near the studio.
This is your new setup.
Yeah. What the hell? Cunningham's a chalk, obviously. I know that.
Yeah.
Subs though. I just want to see if there's anyone else I was missing.
Jalen Green and Mobley are the others.
We saw Cunningham in Vegas. He was unreal.
Green
the
is
Knicks
going to put up
usually.
some freaking numbers, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
He was my pick. I think he's just gonna get buckets because no one's.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
KPJ. I mean, it might just be the two of them though. That's
Yeah, I mean
Wood's
they're gonna
back.
if like
Wood's back.
if a team scores 100 points a game, like who is
Yeah,
scoring on their team
someone
other than
has to
Wood,
score.
KPJ, and,
Yeah,
and Green?
someone.
Like they'd have no one else.
I took Scotty Barnes. Jennings, how about this though? There was a line, OG Anunoby to average 20 points a game. What do you think yes was, odds wise? No context, and then we'll start to give you.
Is this the bet that I read earlier?
Yeah, I thought it was a great value. I was shocked.
Yes,
Based
I
on
would
that
guess.
changes my answer.
Yes, I would have guessed like plus 200.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Plus
Andy, what do you
250.
think?
Based on what you said, saying it was great value, I would say like plus 300.
Yeah, it was plus 400, and
That's
so
crazy.
I was like, Lowry left. Let me go check. Did he not score that much? He literally averaged 16 points a game last year.
I have him as my most improved. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna be really good this year.
What about Barrett?
I have OG Anunoby as my most improved.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna
All right, here.
OG is super talented. The thing is, he's going to have to guard the best defend or the best opposing best player a lot.
Oh,
I mean,
also
Siakam's gonna create
Siakam's
a lot.
out for a while, so that's even more bullish for him.
Yeah.
Let's play. Should we wrap up with some Lodden Thinks since we can't rip some packs?
Let's.
Yes.
Oh, by
do
the
it.
way, Lodden Thinks, how many sectors of Top Shot are down right now besides the pack opening?
How do you define a sector?
No, like on their status page. Website, marketplace, pack purchasing, gifting, sign up. 5 others. How many other ones are down?
0? I
That's
don't know.
0. Literally is just pack opening that is,
Yeah.
that is not available tonight. Of
I
course.
just noticed last time I used my notepad was to get on the hidden in noise whitelist, which I successfully did.
Yeah,
Why
by
did you
the
write
way,
that so many times? Is that what you
They,
had
they
to
asked
do?
me to do this, and I did it.
I
did
think I'm
it.
still owed like $500 from Lodden Things, right, Mike? Aren't we still owed?
Yes.
money?
No. Well, so
Okay.
so I think Andy, one of you guys gave me $100 in Vegas to clear the balance. I can't
Yeah,
remember
I'm
who
still
though.
owed 500, so we're gonna have to.
I think
think
I
you-
owe Pete money.
No,
Jack,
we're
maybe you
settled
gave me
via the
money in
fantasy
Vegas.
league. Yeah.
Huh?
I normally am a
Two-
fast pair of my debts, but if I owe,
2 people owe me. 2 people have paid back, but I can't remember who.
It
Which
was
is
don't we
not
normally
ideal.
settle right after the show? Have we ever?
Yeah,
We
I
normally
think- I
do
think-
until Jack and I
yeah.
win.
Yeah.
Normally, Pete settles if he's owed like right away, and if he's not owed, then it's generally a few months.
Then he has to go golfing
Wow.
first.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you guys trying to run it back, double or nothing on a shooting prop? I mean, is that?
Overset, do you think you paid me 100 at some point? or
in
no?
all seriousness, do you guys? Do I really owe?
I legitimately know
I do.
that I was owed like $400, but I'm settled up with Andy now, so I don't know what's going
I-
on.
I paid Andy $500 one time. I know that.
I am still owed 500. I don't know from who, nor do I really care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Alright, so
I'm happy
what
to call
this means is
anybody.
we need a Club Top Shot scribe.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Just
did,
watch every episode.
that's
Yeah.
why we need a blockchain.
All right, I'm happy to call it even and
I
just
feel
go from
like,
here.
no, all jokes aside, I feel like we always reconcile the day.
We
after.
do. This
There-
one we did not.
We did not. There was some.
Is there
hidden
any?
tags.
We should have some records in right somewhere.
I mean, no one's
If you want to
fucking going
scroll
back
up,
through those
yeah,
archives.
exactly. We're good.
I mean, I don't know. Nothing worse than not getting paid.
It's all good. It's all good. Let's start fresh. Let's take.
Yeah, what are we
Not paid.
doing?
What you guys want to play? What do we normally play? $100?
Yeah. I was just saying, what's the first question?
Can we just do some NBA season projection, Lodden
Oh,
Thinks?
fuck off. Let's have some fun.
They don't have to be serious projections.
How about some
No,
NFT stuff too? Yeah.
No, I like
NFT
that.
themed.
No, let's ask Pete like how many
For my
many-
question, you can
how
ask
many
me NBA.
dribbles will Russell Westbrook take this
Okay.
season?
All right.
This season?
That's a fun.
That's a good
question.
one. There you go.
Regular season.
All right, Russell Westbrook, 82 regular season games or however many he plays. How many total dribbles during regulation?
I have no idea what's normal.
And
is.
overtime. and over.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Who's answering? Jennings is
I'm
answering?
No,
answering.
Pete is. That's the
Oh.
point.
The reason you have to ask me this question is because you guys all know like the
Yeah,
real
of
answer, and
course.
I'm the one.
I don't
that gotta- Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
I don't know. I have no idea what's normal. The only dribbling stat I know is that one Klay Thompson game where he
Mike,
didn't
we
dribble.
know. We
I don't
know.
Jack, you probably know this stuff. You play a lot of basketball.
What the fuck are you talking about? All right. Dribble. Can I use a calculator or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
It's fine.
Any of you guys ape into any of the new Apple products?
Wait, can we talk about the tungsten thing for 1 second? What's going on with the tungsten?
So it started because like one guy tweeted about how like it feels really weird to hold a tungsten cube because of just how dense it is. And I don't really know what happened there. I currently do not own any tungsten, so I'm down
What
bad.
is
Down bad, down real bad, astronomically.
Yeah, tungsten is the third most dense metal.
I lost
What's
it.
above
Wedding
it?
ring.
What's denser?
Yeah, what's better?
I'm not sure, but so like people are buying these like 3x3 tungsten cubes that weigh like 100 pounds. Like they weigh some insane. Yeah, they weigh some insane amount.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, so I was looking at getting a full set of D&D dice that are tungsten, and it was like, do not use these on a table without like protection because you can like really fuck up
Break
your
a
table.
toe. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Wait,
said some
wait,
of the dies weigh over a pound each, and they're just like little D&D
You
dice.
didn't look up what the two denser ones were?
I'll look up right
Like
now.
I feel like
All
as
right,
in-
I have my answer written down.
All
I'll
right,
go
I'm ready.
first. I said 8, 8, 8, 8.
Just
Wow,
look at
that's pretty close to where I am actually. Jack, you're way different.
8,888 dribbles.
8,250.
Way higher.
Oh no, I think I did the wrong math. No, did I? Yeah,
Let's
my
see.
math is way
What did you say,
off.
Jack?
My math is
No,
way
just
off.
say it.
Jack, present your number. Be
It's
Ja
okay,
Rule. Be
Jack.
Ja Rule for us.
My
Say it.
numbers. I carried a digit. I carried a
All right,
digit.
I think Andy might be
Well, so
closest based on what he
Mine's
said.
high. I have 45,000.
All right, so I wrote down 24,069
Fuck me.
was my answer.
I
My-
would've-
So it's Jennings.
I would have been at
No.
100. I would have
Is
been at
Andy.
it
12,000.
Andy or Jennings?
Jennings.
No, I overshot by too much. I'm off
Jennings,
by-
you're 16,000. Andy's 21,000.
Are we okay? Are we doing it closest by total number,
Yeah.
or are we doing
Yeah,
multiplier?
No,
Closest,
no.
closest.
Closest by number, yeah.
Yeah.
My,
Fuck.
Okay,
my
perfect.
math was like 300 a game times.
Yeah, I agree. I
was
won.
my math.
Perfect.
My
Let's keep
my
this
math
going.
was 1,500 a game.
1,500 a
I-
game?
No, I did.
My
I
math
did-
was 1,000 a game. I think that's like
1,000?
honestly kind of reasonable.
And
I
you
was
have
in
been
the same
playing
range
how
as
many
Jennings.
games?
Let's see. How many dribbles?
82 games.
Yeah, times 1,000.
I did 82 games times. What did I do? 82 games times.
I'm just
Maybe
trying to feel
Oh no,
how
I
much it would
did
be like.
500.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
82 games times. So what I did was 82 games times 5 dribbles per possession times 100 possessions per game.
Yeah.
And
So
then I
I did-
rounded up a bit because it felt low.
I did 10 dribbles a possession.
10
know
dribbles of possession is so many.
That's
No,
a-
if he
But
brings-
it's
he
accounting for
brings
the
up the
possessions where he's
court.
literally standing there
Yeah,
walking
yeah.
up the court and dribbles
He
45 times.
Yeah, he brings up the court.
Does anyone have numbers on this? I'm trying to look it up.
How many? Yeah.
I'm very
25
curious.
dribbles a
What?
game?
25 a game? No, that's a bad take.
That's. He dribbled
Yeah, the Klay
400
Thompson thing is that he scored like 60 points with like 13 dribbles, right? Which is like a
Yeah.
crazy low number.
Like 4 dribbles.
I think
Like 43 points
I think
per
my
dribble.
answer was like fucking great, honestly.
Like,
So I'm just.
like Drew-
I'm just
1,
happy Jennings and I
2,
roughly agree.
3, 4, 5, 6. He had 6
Jack's
dribbles.
doing anecdotal possession.
He had 6
research.
dribbles. He got the ball
Okay, I
back.
got some
7,
stats
8.
here. I actually have some legitimate stats based on last year. So the league leader in dribbles per touch was Frank Mason. 6.35 dribbles per touch. He got 37 touches per game, so he's averaging about 100 or like 200-ish dribbles per game.
Wow.
Markel
Wow, so
Fultz looks
Overset's
like
pretty accurate here.
That's what I'm trying to
Okay,
say.
here's
Wait,
the guy-
I was actually really close.
Here are the
I
two
found
leaders.
Westbrook's dribbles per touches.
What is it?
It's 4.79 last year, and he had 95 touches per game.
Yeah,
Andy Reid's dead on.
4.79
400.
times 95 times 82 is 37.
Yeah, but did he play every game? Did he play every game
And
though?
Westbrook is on the high end of
Most.
usage.
Well, that's who we're.
Luka and
I mean,
Trae
we're getting
Young
pretty
are
close to
the leaders.
Overset's number here if he didn't play every game.
Yeah, Overset put up a sharp line there.
Oh, it's
Andy
really
had
fucking
five.
wild.
And
Every
Andy and
dribble,
Overset
count
won the
them.
game for sure. Yet Jennings takes home the money.
Because
I'm
that's how
donating
always
it to
fucking
Jack. I
works.
mean, it sounds like I owe some money. I don't know. Jeez.
All right, let's go. Let's
Next,
go.
who's next?
What do we got? Anything?
It's
Are we staying with the basketball theme?
I think anything goes.
I think we
Anything
gave the basketball.
All right, hold on. I got a question for Jack.
Ooh.
If you changed your profile picture to a lazy lion right now and tweeted out, "Lions, let's hear your roar," how many replies would you get from people with lazy lions profile pictures?
give us the duration on the replies.
Yeah, give me the.
In 24 hours.
Unique replies, or what if one person replies multiple times?
Unique replies.
Unique replies. Holy. Can we make this happen?
Jack, will you be doing any research before you answer or no?
Dude, just right click, save it, bro, and then tweet it out.
I did a
Are you gonna be like, looking
randomizer.
at? Yeah.
I did a randomizer draft with Jack in August, I think it was,
Yeah.
and he made me change my profile to an ape. What did you make
A
me?
gold
tweet?
ape. A
You just
gold
said new
ape.
profile.
Yeah.
And I got like 75 new followers from 8 people. Just they got absolutely.
I've
wrecked.
never seen Pete so uncomfortable before because there's
I
nothing worse than like having to force that you own something you don't. All right, how many replies, no quote tweets.
Yeah.
replies.
And no, Mike, I'm not doing research, nor do I really understand how you would research.
Well, you can look at the number of unique owners. That's a good data point.
Oh, I do know because I was looking at it earlier. It's
Great.
4,600.
I will-
This is one of those questions where I have my real answer, but I know Jack's inflated sense of self and his engagement levels here that I probably need to go higher.
All right, I got mine.
All right, I just
I
upped my
will
number.
say I didn't see how many on the Coinbase.
Yeah, I don't know how many they've done on any other.
I literally scrolled for 4 minutes straight.
Yeah, but that doesn't. I mean, it obviously means there's a lot, but not as much as you would think.
All right, I'm going to change my answer based on that comment.
24 hours, Jack Lazy Lions profile. I mean, half of the comments would be Knights of DJ people being like,
I
"What the
know.
fuck?"
I could change it to the lazy lion that we vault. That would work
Yeah.
for all parties.
Turn it, dude. Someone buy that lazy lion fish. That's the only lazy lion I want.
Oh, the cloud. The cloud is sweet.
All right, I have my answer written down.
I'm ready to.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I said you would get
420.
I said 158.
Oh my God,
I
I
Jack's
said
nodding at this.
1,500.
Yeah, I'm way up there. Not that's it. We're at 969.
You guys don't know how Twitter works.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. 220,
What did you say, Pete?
420.
I said 420.
Am I closest? Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
Ship it.
That's
Someone
a
here
lot
knows
of
how Twitter
repli-
works.
Yeah, that's a, people under. All right, so now do I have to?
Let's look at how many replies the Coinbase tweet got.
the Coinbase.
I'm gonna
one
guess
had-
the Coinbase one's like 300 or 400 would be my
Coinbase
guess.
one is 545 retweets and 1,200 likes.
Yeah, but how many replies?
Yeah, I can't see on desktop.
I'm looking. 500. Oh wait. 562 replies.
Yeah.
But this is Jack. This isn't Coinbase. It's-
Jack is fully 4 replies and 3.5
Well, so
million.
part of it for me is that that I think that the Lazy Lions would really be activated by this.
Yes,
And
yes.
they really want to make
They
sure they're
were
moving on this.
activated by fucking
Yes.
Coinbase.
By the way,
I think
no,
this is different.
there's
This is
no
a spite activation.
there's no drop off either with the Lazy Lions. Like just because they were engaged on Coinbase doesn't mean they won't come over here and to Pete's YouTube channel.
He's getting heated. He's popping his top off.
Pete's gonna
I'm
buy.
down so bad right now.
Yeah, same. I've been I've been very off on both.
The one time I wanted to get paid, and now I lose every other time.
Oh God, get out of here with this bullshit.
I'm just,
All right.
I'm
Hey,
down
just
bad.
sell another Top Shot moment now that you're allowed to.
I'm
do
trying.
that.
I'm trying to sell a Zion so I can buy another Wade. Can someone buy my Zion? Someone in the crowd want to buy the Zion?
Someone in the crowd. You think we're fucking in
All
front
right,
of a live
let's
studio
ask
audience right now?
Jennings a question. Anyone have a question in the chat?
All right, let's see.
Imagine like you wake up one day, you're like, I want to spend $5,000 on a Lazy Lion.
All right.
The only
I
thing
want-
that's performed worse since the stream is the mechas. Andy was like, now's a good time to buy.
I want.
I never said that.
No, you said you're.
Not
you were-
financial advice, but now's a good time to buy.
I want Pete to guess how much total money and that Brandon Stokely has gambled in his lifetime. This isn't like net profits or net losses, just the total amount of
The
money.
gross.
The
How do
gross-
you handle like poker?
the buy-in.
It's a
Yeah,
weird one.
so like if you sat
So
down,
you bought in for 2,000, but you've made like tens of thousands of dollars of bets.
The buy-in. The buy-in.
the buy-in, the buy-in.
And is buying an ape a gamble or not?
Yes.
No. You're
No.
kidding, right? Okay.
No, I want
Not a gamble. Okay.
basketball
Stokely's total amount gambling in his whole life.
in his whole lifetime.
Jesus. All right.
I mean,
I have no fucking idea.
That's the fucking point of this game, Mike.
it's
I
unbelievable.
know, but I have like
How
no
many times do we
ballpark.
have to play the game before Mike understands?
I lose every time. I don't get it.
Because Mike has his research assistant like Googling how many times
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook dribbled the ball.
I was too low on that one.
How much money is so? I do think it's a level playing field because none of us know how much like they gamble for, or maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea.
I don't
All
know.
right. All right. When I say this, I get shat on, but everyone else can say it.
All right, in his lifetime,
I got fucking no idea who asked this.
2 minutes later, everyone else is saying the same damn thing.
That's the
Stokely,
beauty.
He's 45
Because
years old.
Mike, I don't know if I need to tell you how this game works, but the real answer doesn't matter. It's just what Pete thinks.
the real
Is that what we're supposed to do?
the real question is unlocking how much he's bet on sports. Because you can get a lot. Like if you're betting, I mean, thousands of dollars a game.
Yeah, but was he betting on sports while he was an active player?
No,
Let's not get into Pete
Yeah,
Rose
was he Pete
situation.
Rosing a little bit?
Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I got mine.
Fuck. No shit. I hate my answer already. I'm redoing it.
Yeah, I hate my job. I'm embarrassed. Someone else go first so I can see if I should be embarrassed or not.
All right. I'll take the bullet. Is everyone ready?
Yeah. Andy,
All
are you
right.
ready?
Oh, fuck.
I was born ready.
I wrote down like 3 different answers and I hated them all. I'm saying that Brandon Stokely has bet
Wow.
$3.45 million, $340,000.
You would have the best context into what their poker games look like, so it could be a good wager.
2.25.
All right, so we're not too far off.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the.
We're not.
I did
Moderate.
5 million.
Okay.
Where does it say
All
5
right.
million?
We're all... That's
All right.
It's the
I
only
believe you. I
low-cost
just can't.
outlet.
Oh, I see it.
I'm hoping he is a sharp degen, but not when it comes to gambling. I said 500 grand.
Okay, I mean,
fucking nit. All right.
he's 45. He's
I
45.
said 14 million.
14 million?
I win.
That's
1-4?
I
absurd.
win just by
Win?
having the highest
That is
number.
Oh my
absurd.
I mean, that's what I kept taking my.
These
answer
guys are
higher.
playing dice in the fucking locker room and shit. Come on,
yeah.
guys. These guys.
Like
I have no idea like
buying-
how much he made in his career or anything. I've like
He's a
essentially
net
no
winner.
idea.
Stokely's sharp, but he's played. Yeah, he's played
14 million? What?
Dude, that's less than we gamble a year. He's 45.
Who?
You're like a professional gambler.
Yeah.
What do you mean by we, Peter?
Yeah,
I mean, every year.
You and Gracie.
Yeah, Gracie's firing.
Gracie
I mean,
opened a new
14
account, got the sign-up bonus.
Dude, you guys, if he's 45, he was in the NFL when he's 21, 22. I mean, it's not even $500K a year.
That was Jack's answer, lifetime answer, by the way.
Yeah, Stokely made $26 million in career earnings over his.
And he gambled
Correct.
half of it away.
Not half went to taxes. 10% went to his agent. He essentially took his entire career earnings and just put it on the line.
No, but dude, it's
Just
so
put it on
small.
black.
14
All right.
million small.
He's played in some big poker games. I know that. And my number's probably high. He's actually not that big. I mean, he gambles on golf. I don't know. It's just not that much over a long period. Like, he has a large sample. I mean, he's probably gambled a lot of days out there.
Can you ask me next time you're hanging out? Report
These
back.
dice games can get spicy.
Yeah, we should.
Imagine with tungsten dice.
All right. Who needs a question? Who hasn't gotten one yet? Andy? I don't think Andy's gotten one.
no, I don't think I have.
Yeah, Andy hasn't.
All right. I just gave Pete that one. Who hasn't given a question yet? Mike, give Andy a question.
Mike, give Andy a question. All right.
Apparently, front running Mike and buying a Dwayne Wade.
Are you?
Run it back. Yeah. My order is processing.
Get
How much is it right now?
1850.
Oh, you got it cheaper than I did too. Fuck.
I'm not
All
buying
right.
the floor. I'm buying one slightly above, just for.
All right. For Andy.
Sounds like you're
Okay.
writing a letter. For
Huh.
Andy.
How many people will be traveling to New York as part of the NFT NYC experience? Not going to the conference, including going to the conference, but how many people will come to New York to do anything for NFT NYC?
Are the Lazy Lions invited?
No, they have an active. Disney
Absolutely not.
Because that factors into my calculations.
Do people who already live in New York City count as
Yeah.
attending or no?
They got to be out.
They
of
do
state.
not count. That's a good question. You have to be more than a 1 hour drive away.
More than a one. So
No
Buffalo-
traffic. No traffic. More than a 1 hour drive with no traffic.
Buffalo counts. Then is what you're saying.
Yeah, Buffalo's like 11 hours away. Yeah.
Buffalo's not even in New York. In my
Yeah, Buffalo's in Canada.
All right. Yeah, this is hard.
I don't even know how fucking big this conference is. Just a bunch
No
of
one
ape
does. That's the
holders.
thing.
Bunch of ape holders.
Everyone is
They're off.
speaking, though. All ticket holders
Yeah.
are speaking. I've already crossed out 3 different numbers.
I hate my answer. Hang on, Andy's answering. What kind of mood are you in right now, Andy? Are you in a bullish mood? I hate this one. All right, I have my answer and I fucking hate it.
I'm not
Peter,
sure I'm
what
ready.
the-
I have an answer
Mine
written
just-
down, but I think I might need to change.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
I think I need to.
I've changed my
mine.
answer many times.
Yeah, I've got so many scratch outs.
God. All right, I have my new answer.
All right, I have mine.
Pete, you have yours?
Oh, I'm ready.
Jack?
I think I won.
Jack?
I think I won.
All right, Jack
All
says
right, I'll
he
start.
won.
669.
What?
That's how many speakers there are.
Jack, I mean, Pete, that's how many the
Aren't there
line at
hundreds
one
of
of the
people going to this
bars.
thing?
There
I
are
have
600
4,200.
speakers for the event.
There are literally 600 speakers.
I
I'm
had
sure
don't
4,200 initially. I fucked up. Damn it.
I don't think
That's
getting
really
sketched is
low.
horrible. I don't think it's horrible.
I said 4,623.
I am materially higher. All right. 18,750.
Oh my God, Mike. That
Look
is
at
the
it.
worst fucking guess I have ever heard in my entire life. And I've watched Ja Rule think there were 4 million Fruit Loops in a box.
Jack, what's your answer?
Can we just my answer 32.
All right, ours is close.
Damn it, my 4,200 was money.
It's 4,000 is what I put.
Let's go.
Yay!
Boom.
Wait, what do you have, Pete?
4,600.
I
I feel like
changed
everyone's
it.
thinking of it as like a percentage of OpenSea wallets, and I'm factoring in like all of the brand people that are going to become like the corporate people who want to sneak into NFT world.
Yeah, well, so basically, the way that I thought about it is like, I don't think I've ever been to a crypto conference where there were more than like 2,000 people there, and so I just said I think this will be the biggest conference ever by double, and that was how I got to 4,000. But
I
yeah, I
really
have
liked my
absolutely
guess.
no idea.
But wait, hold on. But you said second biggest ever.
Oh, no, I meant biggest ever by double.
Right, but did you factor out how many people wouldn't be traveling but still going in that 4,000?
Yeah, I thought it
See,
was.
that's
not,
where I
it
got
wasn't.
burned. That's where I got burned.
Yeah.
Well, what percentage of people going do you think will be local of the whole conference?
A quarter to half,
And
probably?
no, I don't think so. Probably
You
like
think
10%.
10%?
Yeah,
Really?
because crypto's so global, dude. There's so many people from Europe and like Asia and just like everywhere.
Let's I feel like we never talk about this for an NFT show, so I just want to do a quick detour. What is our take on VeeFriends? I think the floor is at what, like 10 or 11 ETH right now, I want to say. Any takes?
I own a gift goat. That's my take.
Great.
Yeah, I don't have a blazing hot take, really.
Okay.
I think it's a good project to be invested in. Like, it makes sense logically, long term. You're investing in someone who's won a lot, who's well connected, who's seemingly has made his life goal to give back to those who invest in him. So I think it's, we see a lot of people who buy like fuck render, right? Because or they buy Bloot because it's someone's life mission. I think if you're gonna buy Gary Vee stuff, and that's his life mission, it's probably sharp.
My only question with all this stuff is people put in, let's say you buy one for 10 ETH or whatever they mint it for. You put in, I don't know, 10, 15 grand for these, and people do it expecting financial gains or some sort of return on it. A lot of these kind of like the gift goats, I think, are, Jennings, what do you get for that? You get 3 gifts, like one per year or something, and then access to the conference?
You get access to the conference. That's big.
Yeah, you have no idea.
All right.
It's
how
either
many
3 or 6.
people
I was going to look
at
it up.
Gary Vee's conference.
Okay,
So what I'll say-
the challenge with these, which is the challenge with a lot of these NFT concepts, is people put in money and expect more money to come out of it than what they put in, basically. And so basically, the creators, the founders, the designers, the artists need to basically create value in a way. And so the question is, can Gary Vee, like for the gift goats, can he find 6 gifts that someone's going to value at more than the amount they put in while not
I think
not putting that much cash out? Or is it going to be, their conference is worth so much, but their conference obviously has, but they have a lot of expenses for their conference and they're no longer selling tickets. And so the question is can they make money while actually spending enough to make the people who
Do you know how much money they've made from VeeFriends?
No, I know they've made a ton.
They made like $80 million.
But people are buying them with some expectation of some sort of return on them. So the question is, how do you pay for that return? This is like more of like a global NFT question.
But
people buy these things.
People don't ask those questions about cool cash.
They will eventually. They're not yet because we're in some euphoria, but eventually it's like, what is this worth to me? Like, what am I getting? And that's why everyone wants banana dividends from their comms and some new coin from.
Like, I completely agree. Agree. But
where's the money coming from?
I'll say this. I actually think one of the reasons why VeeFriends is one of the better investments in that case is because theoretically you could go to the conference and gain some form of alpha. I started my entire business. I don't want to give it fully credit to Gary Vee, but the way he talked about social media just made me think about social media and being on different platforms in the future. And like, in theory, yes, you'll never be able to get 6 NFT gifts, right? That will equal more than what you pay for it. But you could gain the knowledge, or you could gain an idea that then leads to, it's not going to be for everyone, but I think that it is one of the rare cases where information could be valued at a specific number.
So I agree, but for me, I guess that's like my global question across all these NFTs. What are they doing that's like filling that value gap? They have to make some money. You put money in with an expectation of gains. Practically, how are they going to then add value to the overall pot beyond? Because a lot of these guys are like, you know, even Knights of Degen. So I guess it's a question applicable to you guys. You guys have the Knights purse, like that's filled with money that came from the sale of the product. It's never going to be. Unless you guys make significant profits on it. It's just going to be a part of the overall money people put in. So that's going to be insufficient. So what are you guys doing on top of that to make it so that everything's valuable? Is it enough is the clout enough? Is the art enough? Is the conference enough? And
no, that's exactly why I'm bearish on Bored Apes and Cool Cat, because they don't provide any value besides a floor price and community. And it's like, that's why I like the Knights stuff, is because the team is super connected. And, you know, we already own a football team, and we're going to partner with all these really interesting things through real events. And a lot of these projects are.
I'd be careful with those comparisons, because Bored Ape is going to throw real events, and so is Cool Cats, and they have merch, and they're going to do tokens and stuff. So I would be careful trying to compare it on that level.
I don't know who really wants to go to a Bored Apes event if the floor price is non-existent. It's not like-minded people, right?
What do you mean? It's naturally self-selective like-minded people. Like once you all have that NFT, you're like-minded people.
You're like-minded that you all like the price of it, right? Like,
would you agree that the owners of CryptoPunks are like-minded people?
I wouldn't, but I would say I've seen a lot of similarities in that, you know, the groups that I'm in are really sharp people. And I think that probably has a lot to do. I don't know if I don't want to speak down on the Bored Ape community. Maybe they are. I'm not in it, so I wouldn't know. But I'm sure I differ greatly than the majority. You think Jennings and Banks are similar people? Like,
I think in a lot of ways they are.
I don't think your take is bad that people are primarily motivated for financial reasons. I think that's a good take, but I don't think you can then segment those projects within that distinction. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's true across the board that the price and the floor is what motivates people. And so I don't know. I don't think you can choose that, like, no, this one actually has more underlying value than this one.
Well, no, I think that's what's going to happen. To Mike's point, you expect some financial return in a lot of these projects. And how do you deliver a financial return if you can't actually like run a successful business? Like all these NFT projects, unless they're meme coins, unless they're art, they need to build a profitable business to a degree, to where they can reward their owners, or they can build something of value. And that's my opinion. That's where I think we'll end up.
So I personally think that's wrong. I think that's incorrect.
This is like the lose thing is my question also. Like the airdrops aren't worth 20K. What's worth 20K is people just gambling on them then giving something else in the future.
No, but
then at some point that runs out.
You can go look at the floors. Like,
I understand that people are paying that, but they're not paying that because the dog is worth 10,000. They're saying that the membership the dog offers is going to get me some promise in the future, which gets me another promise in the future, which gets me another promise in the future, and like eventually it crosses the line where like it does actually work out, because now we like the Bored Apes have crossed into Sotheby's and Christie's, everyone's dream scenario, and Steph Curry has one, and whatever else. But like that still doesn't really answer the question. Like, why is the airdrop actually worth anything? It's just worth the promise of some future airdrop. But why is that?
Perfect example is with Top Shot, right? I see someone saying, what value is Top Shot providing? We've always said that if Top Shot only was about, like, Jennings has been consistent in saying he only wanted to be essentially a stock ticker of these players, because then you can trade against. But if they tried to make it that you had to own 8 Top Shot. Like if I have to complete an entire Knicks set to go to one Knicks game, obviously that's not worth it, right? Like there's no value.
Right.
You're not paying $4,000 or $8,000 to go to a singular Knicks game. So
I very strongly disagree with you guys.
What's
I
your
think you're
take
totally
on it?
wrong.
What do you think?
People are desperate to find people online who they connect with and feel like they relate to, and these projects are creating means for that. And what the value that they're adding, while monetary, is monetary because people legitimately are willing to pay thousands of dollars and tens of thousands of dollars to feel like they are a part of a community that is important. And then all of a sudden Steph Curry is a part of your community and you go, holy shit, I own the same thing Steph Curry owns and he thinks this is cool. And that stuff is incredibly valuable. People adore Gary Vee. He's insanely famous because people love him on social media. And so having the opportunity to have Gary Vee personally send you a gift is like exponentially more valuable than anything he could ever send you to some non-trivial stuff. In the same way that you said, oh, what if 5% of Coinbase, new NFT Coinbase buyers are going to spend a lot of money? 5% of people who just love Gary Vee want to get a gift from him personally. And this is the first way that they could ever possibly do that.
Well,
and so like the value isn't in like these monetary things. It's in these like intensely emotional interactions and ways you're connecting with people. And like when you have those situations, it creates systems that people want to put their money into. And then there's money and then people speculate, but it doesn't change.
I think the opposite order is right. It's people. The exciting thing about these clubs is that everyone's making a shit ton of money in them. Not that you get to like Discord chat with some random anonymous person you don't even know their real name. Not that Steph Curry happens to. We haven't seen this scenario where everything stops going up only. We're starting to see it now, and we'll see which communities, quote unquote, communities survive.
Well, so like here's a really good example: is whenever anyone DMs me and says, "Hey, like I'm in New York, I'd love to get coffee with you and meet you and talk to you," I don't know who they are personally. I always say no, or I just don't answer because it's just like, I don't know who you are, whatever. Yeah. Someone with a noun DM'd me the other day and said, "Hey, I'd love to meet you and get coffee." And I said, "Yeah, sure, let's do it."
I think that's also like a money thing. And noun, to get a noun, you have to have.
Well, yeah, but then you're able to signal that you're a part of a community and that you're bought into something.
That person could be someone who's worth your time because wealthy people have connections, are generally networked, everything. That person's a wealthy person, not a noun person. It's a wealthy person.
But the whole point though is that you're like a part of or bought it, like for nouns in particular, and the reason that it works with nouns, and it would probably work with a punk depending on when they had bought it, is that like someone who bought a noun probably is not going to waste their time robbing me or whatever.
Right. So it's a money thing like everything else is. That's a wealthy person and that's why they're worth
that's
your
like
time.
I'm saying that's just one example of a way that you can like.
I know. I'm just answering the one. I'm just answering the one example. I'm just saying if you take away the idea that there is extreme financial opportunity here, I don't think the communities are nearly as exciting. I don't think we can say the Discord chats are like overly exciting. I think that look, Bored Apes have gone beyond that point of no return at this point. I think at this point, Bored Apes are probably kind of a safe investment, a cool thing to own, a punk, whatever we want to call it, where it signals digital identity. But for a lot of these, the most exciting thing is the potential financial gain. And that's what brings people together. And that's what connects people. And like, I don't know, a lot of the crap I own, like I'm either not in the Discord, I haven't looked at the Discord in 6 months or whatever else. And like the most exciting things, I look and the floor price is up. And it's, I don't really know what the art looks like or whatever else. I have no connection to the project. And I see half the chat saying here, like, how is this not like Top Shot? The difference with Top Shot is I watch the NBA. I go to NBA games. I'm a sports fan. And there's some connection there to something that I know and have commonality with my friends over. And that there's a massive track record of sports collectibles and that people like collecting that game used things, sports cards, going to games, wearing hats, wearing jerseys. Like this is established, like normal collectible things. It's not literally profile pictures. And like, it's very hard to say.
This is going to sound mean, but it's just your take is extremely boomer, Mike. It's really, really boomer.
I want to see what happens when everything stops going up so much. Like you can see already on Twitter, the Toads chatter slows down when the floor halves. For a while, it's probably nothing exciting. Then it's quiet onto the next thing as soon as the money stops.
I think you guys are honestly both right. I see it in the Discord here. Like, guys circle through their profile pics. They get on whatever project they're most excited about at the time. There's a fundamental thing of like what project is doing the best from a floor perspective. Like, we in the Discord, we all love fucking Penelope's Country Club. We think Carlini is going to crush it long term. We all know he's going to crush it long term. But right now, some of us, myself included, have fucking Galactic Apes as our profile pictures because the price action on that is more interesting. Yet, I think what's hard is to untangle those things of what vibes resonate with you, what communities resonate with you, what is fucking cool to you. Like, toads are fucking cool to Andy, and I get that. Like, I get those things. Top Shot is fucking cool to Mike, but it's the price action that buoys all of those boats. And then it's just, what is the coolest thing to you at that time? So I feel like you guys are both right in different directions.
Well, yeah, I think essentially like the price action is like what helps to kick off like actually growing interesting communities, but like actually interesting communities do grow out of those things. And so I think it's like short-sighted to discredit it because a non-trivial part of how it grew in popularity is because of price action. Like, that's kind of how a lot of things work.
I know, but what that I compare it to, there's no way you can possibly say.
I've made some of the best friends of my life through DeFi. And I got into DeFi because I could make a shit ton of money. And now I've made some of the absolute best friends of my life. And so it's the same thing with Bored Apes or Cool Cats or any of these.
You don't need that doesn't change things to participate in this world. You just make a Twitter account and like talk about NFTs, and you're part of this world. You need to own a Bored Ape to do it.
No, you need to be. No, I disagree with that. Being skin in the game is like the
I guess, but like then we look at this and we say, okay, what are the tangible things here? Friendship, club access, community, whatever else. There's no chance it's worth some of the actual dollar amounts people are paying for this. Like,
I think you're wrong. I think you're so
we know
wrong.
what. I think I think a big part of it comes down to is like you're very, very deep in crypto world. Regular people don't have money like this. Like, this is very exclusive to like crypto people being able to say, I'm paying 10 Ethereum because I have good conversations because of it. Like, that's not a real thing.
How much people pay for Soho House for like exclusive?
That's a very, very this is like the 0.1 of the 0.1. Like that's not like a common thing, but it's being treated as a very common thing right now. And like, I don't think it translates to the greater world at all. I think that's why a lot of people are almost offended by the idea of NFTs, because people are throwing around hundreds of thousands of dollars, basically saying, it brings me happiness and whatever else. And I don't know.
So
I don't
wrong there is that all of these things started being incredibly accessible to everyone. And it's these small groups of people who are building on something that they've all decided they've opted into and creating actual interesting community and growing these things. And then they take off. And so then what like NFTs and these profile picture projects and all these communities and friends with benefits and all these different like more social token projects are doing is they're unlocking ways for people who are creating interesting social groups and friendships and things to actually see monetary gain from that becoming a hot thing to be a part of. It's like if you and your friends were really into going to hardcore shows back in like 2008, and then they became really popular in 2012, and you could like actually make a 100x because everyone else wanted to start coming to hardcore shows and getting gauges and like getting tattoos. And so it's like creating this.
New people who are arriving, they don't like, you think in our example they care about the hardcore shows, or they said someone else made 100x, I also want to make 100x, or you think they're like,
well, it's the same thing, but it's just with like social credit. It's like, oh, I like this thing now because it's popular, and you're just adding,
but
like, you're adding
I guess with the
monetary
hardcore shows, using your example, the hardcore, there's an actual show there. What is there? What do you like? The people who are buying Bored Apes, I don't think it's irrelevant. Like, it's a lot of money. People are buying something. What are you actually buying at this point, except for the promise of future gains?
But that's Mike. I mean, once you reduce things to that argument, you can say the same about Top Shot and about crypto.
Oh yeah, then Top Shot's the exact same thing.
It's the exact same
I agree, except at least there's a common thread of like, so it's going to a football game, but like Top Shot is at least a common thing among tons and tons and tons of people who like basketball fans, who want to relive plays, who have traded cards before, who have done all these things. There's something there that's like common among people.
But to your point, not worth the value.
What do you mean?
It's not like it's not worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No, so I agree with the concept of like trying to measure everything by tangible value and how many apples it yields and whether or not it provides you a direct service by cleaning up your trash and doing something for you isn't the only thing that can drive value. That's not what I'm suggesting. I just think that the numbers that we're talking about here can no longer just be like, I have good Discord conversations and I've met good friends, so therefore this is worth $50,000. Like,
but I think
we have to like step back to reality a little bit at some point.
But we're past the point of trying to view NFTs through a traditional finance lens where these are like paying dividends. Like that's traditionally how people like assess stuff. Like we're way beyond that. Let's go to Pete real quick here, because I know Pete is a blue chip maxi, all of this stuff. I want to hear Pete's take on this stuff, this community versus price. How do you untangle that? Where are you at here, Pete?
I mean, I think there's valid points on both sides, and I'm struggling with it personally. I mean, I think there's just a lot of speculation, but it is something new. I mean, I think I like the digital country club analogy. I like the digital jewelry analogy. There's a lot of value in like online status, clearly. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, my biggest concern is that I think Mike's broad point that once the music stops, we're going to start seeing a lot of different things. And I mean, I've heard Timex and a lot of guys that I, come from like poker and gambling, and they're spending a lot of money on this, that they, a large part of their reason on, investing mostly in punks is that the community stuff is great when it's going well, but when it's going bad, that can compound pretty negatively as well. Like we're going to see, whenever winter comes or whenever things go into a bad cycle, you're going to see community members that were best friends like turn on each other when they're all of a sudden like selling the floor and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that's a concern for me. But I do think long term, like the relationships are huge. I mean, I totally agree with Andy. Like, I mean, all of us, we've all become really close, which is great. And there are a ton of relationships that are huge. And there's something about like just online communities and specifically NFTs that I think is a huge trend and is going to continue. So I don't know. I see both sides. I'm currently worried about just, I mean, right now there's certain communities I think actually have something there. I think there's risk that they turn on each other to a degree, but I'm most concerned about like the just total junk. That's like people just moving from thing to thing because they're trying to catch the next like 10x. And one thing I will point out that I think is the most critical thing about all this and is like a huge part of the success, people fucking love to gamble. It's great to open up something.
That's what I mean. It's a money thing. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's a money thing.
But I think, Mike, you're kind of missing. It's hard to untangle.
I'm not saying it's 100% a money thing. I hear you. I'm with that. But I think that there's also what Andy was saying. There's definitely, and the trend is definitely shifting more to what Andy's saying. Like the younger generations are.
Do you think it's money? All right. My question would be, do you guys think it's money first? Is that fair to say? Or Andy?
I want to know if everyone in the chat right now, everyone who's saying like, Mike, you're a boomer or whatever, you tell me right now, actually ask yourself honestly, are you here because you think like NFT art is amazing, because the communities are amazing? Are you here because you think it's an easy way and an easy and fun way to make money? It's basically if you took sports betting, which everyone loves doing, win or lose money. No one cares about losing a few $100s on a Sunday because it's fun to do. But imagine if you had that kind of dopamine rush, but you made money. That's what NFTs are right now. That's why they're popular right now. But Mike, making money can't go on forever.
Mike, we were in a huge Top Shot downturn in mid-August. How many of our club VIPs came out to fucking hang out with us in Vegas? What did we have in common? Top Shot was not mooning. We had a group of people who
we didn't even talk about Top Shot.
We didn't. We had people who had communal interests that wanted to come and fucking play basketball and gamble at the casino and go watch some games. How much price activity did we discuss about?
But that
I don't think it's around the NFTs. Like Bethany owns like 11 Top Shot moments. It has nothing to do with the Top Shot moments. That's just like people who met online. Like
that's the point, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. You don't need to own the NFTs to participate in all the benefits you guys are talking about. So why are the NFTs?
No, but you do. It's the same as like if you're a sports fan. Like you don't.
Why?
Have
Did we check collector scores on the? We didn't check collector scores on the way into Vegas. It had nothing to do with that. It was just these are people who are in the same online community. But you don't need the NFT for that.
No, but
Mike.
Mike, but that's.
I couldn't disagree with you more.
That's not.
I just want to know everyone who's like in this chat. All of us are in here. Jennings, Jack, Andy, you're different because you're fucking rich and a crypto dude. Overzet. Would you guys be participating in this? Would you guys be participating in this market if you didn't think it would be financially profitable?
Mike, I'm telling you, like, too, I went to Vegas 2 weeks after to do fantasy football drafts. We had a similar amount of a contingent that was there because we play fantasy football. Our fucking ROI, maybe it's a couple $1,000s in these high stakes drafts or whatever. We came out there because we have similar interests and we like spending time with each other. And the fact that there's a financial motivation, if we're right on our fantasy football take, that's a bonus. That's a cherry on top.
Right. I think it's the opposite here. The financial is
But, like,
I think the
think about
financial
me.
thing's number one here.
I know, but like the difference is this. Like I go fucking
Andy,
out
I think you're like
thinking-
one of 100 people here who like can like sit there and laugh and say it's all memes because like you've made a bunch of money in crypto world. This is fun. Let's gamble. Let's buy tungsten cubes and have a good time. Everyone else is here for the money.
I don't know. If
I think you're wrong.
I think you're wrong, Mike. I think it's a part of it, but I don't think it's the primary motivation
well,
with stuff.
that's why I think my question is important. Like, Andy, do you think it's money first, then everything else, or you actually think like, I mean, you were doing DeFi right before it was profitable? I don't know. Like the amount of time, everything that happened because of Top Shot was literally this show started because I made a purchase, obviously directly related to money, after we had bought those moments for $5 a piece. Like it all started with price action. Now, what's come of it has been insane. Like, and I obviously get online communities. My entire business is an online community, but I think a lot of it comes, at least begins with price action.
Yeah, well, so I think where Mike and I really disagree is that I think that the price appreciation of these things comes when interesting things start happening, and then the price appreciation or depreciation after that is significantly less relevant because you have created, like, when interesting community starts being built, people want to buy into it and be a part of it, and the easiest way to get buy-in and feel like you're a part of it is to buy a Bored Ape or buy a Cool Cat or buy the 10,000 friends with benefits you need to get into their Discord. It doesn't have to be an NFT profile picture. And like once that starts happening and people want to buy into those things because they want the fastest form of getting buy-in from that community and saying, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to participate. What you guys are doing is interesting. Then the price will increase because people want to buy them. And once you hit like a certain breaking point of there's a bunch of people who think this is interesting and have now like-minded interests and have all bought into this thing, the price is significantly less important, and it's more just about the people who are doing things. Like punks didn't trade at anything for a very long time, and people were still super into punks. It was a significantly smaller group of people, but like that still existed. And like I don't see why any of these would be different. And I mean, yes, some of these projects are like no one actually gives a shit about them and they're just buying them and flipping them. But like to discredit the larger projects that have now gained like actual community interest and stuff and say that everyone who's doing it is just like in it for the money, I think is like incredibly short-sighted and like doesn't understand how the internet like and communities and people connect with each other.
Yeah,
okay. So
that's a big reason why people don't sell, right?
No, but that okay. But that's okay. So that's what I was going to get to. But I absolutely see the value of community. That's like a massive human thing. It's like this can go to like religion or like tribalism, whatever we want. Like it's a huge, huge, huge human thing. Where I get lost is the size of some of the numbers we see to buy into these communities.
I have
like,
your answer. I think I have your answer. The difference, Mike, is it's not a sunk cost. And I think that is brand new, right? Even the opportunity to get your money back at some point in the future, or more excitingly, the opportunity for that to grow. We use the country club example, but you pay yearly dues. The country club, right? They're not giving you money back after 10 years. Whereas here, I think that is the one differing thing that when we say, who the hell would spell 50 grand to be in a community of these people? Of course not. But you have to remember, maybe it only is 49 grand. You're getting 49 grand back at some point, or you're making money on it. That is
who are you selling it to for 49 grand? Like, how does this go on forever? And like, at some point, it can't. And like, because the underlying thing isn't worth what we're describing right now, you have to think there's some other value here. It like gives you clout. It gives you a flex. You can put it on your wall and people think it's cool when they walk it. There's some value. All this stuff that doesn't have intrinsic value, nice watches, fine art. There's something there that like people know and appreciate. And right now, I think it's a lot of the excitement and whatever else is driven by how much money people are making, not that there's an underlying product that has, you know, universal excitement around it or appreciation for the underlying art, or because the community you get is so attractive. And I think that's the primary driver right now.
I just want to point out that we had a group DM from Peter that says, I missed picking up my dry cleaning for tomorrow. If we want to know where Pete's head is.
No, I screwed up. I'm actually like legitimately first world problems. I'm traveling to Vegas tomorrow. I have a 7:55 flight. I don't know what I'm going to do. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just swing into Club Top Shop for 30 minutes. And then we had fun.
What, first of all, what are you going to Vegas for?
I'm doing everything I can. That's what
You told me you're fucking drowning. You're so
I am
busy.
drowning.
You're heading to
I'm
Vegas
drowning.
tomorrow.
I know. I mean, it's reality.
You're so full of shit.
My summary is I get digital assets. I have to respond to these comments. There's too many comments firing. I understand digital assets. I understand NFTs. I get all this. I think people are lying to themselves when they are saying that these are the primary drivers for their excitement around NFTs. I think a lot of the excitement is the financial gain to be had right now. And that's fine. That makes sense. And I also think that a lot of projects cross a point where it's not necessarily about the money, that it becomes so cool. It becomes like a Rolex, like a Bored Ape is maybe like a Rolex these days, where you own a Bored Ape. And that's a really cool thing to talk about at a conference or a dinner or whatever else. The same thing that like a cool watch would be worth. But I think in the lead up to that point where it crosses, it's very, very, very financially driven, but everyone pretends it's not financially driven in an effort to drive the numbers.
I'll give, not credit, but yeah, this is what Levitan says all the time, and everyone seemingly agrees with him on Twitter. So I don't think it's like a wild take. I just think it's money first, and everything that comes after it is.
Levitan's take is heightened for SEO, and it's a very good take. But Levitan does care about, like, if Levitan just only cared about money, he would fucking buy a CryptoPunk on his own and ride it up.
Dude, if Levitan cared about money, well, that's his number one priority. But let's just be honest. Levitan, he's done a lot of things really well. The crypto space, he's a huge swing and a miss. I mean, he's just absolutely.
No, but I think
Levitan
likes owning that moment with like he likes being like, if he was just into grinding it on his own, it's sweating it with a micro community that's also invested.
Well, you're sweating money.
Right, but I'm saying if he only cared about that, then he would just do it on his own.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude,
I am
was
definitely
talking about how like he's like, oh, I missed the boat on Bitcoin when it was like 5K. I mean, this guy has been an absolute. He's nailed everything. Levitan's wildly successful. He's amazing. Does 100 things better than any of us. He's crushed it. But crypto, let's other areas we should give Levitan the platform and let him speak. Crypto, he's struck out multiple times.
What were these? I mean, we had when was our bear market for NFTs? It's tough to remember, but it was in like
that week was rough. It was brutal.
Yeah. There's like 12-hour bear markets, and then Satoshi puts up a bunch of memes, and it's funny and it's good, and we move on. Yeah.
But what was it? It was like May or something. What there was?
There's been like 3 different one-day bear markets.
No, there was like a full month. I feel like where NFTs were not pumping. It would be interesting to look at all of those communities and time.
All right, well, Jet, we're in a Punks chat together. It's talked about commonly in that Punks chat how dead it was for a month when prices weren't going up.
It was dead, dude.
No, but that's a Punks trader chat. That's not like
are going to drop.
Everything's just a trader's chat, though. It's just like we can pretend.
That's just not true, dude. Like that's just not true.
I think it is.
No,
I think it is like what you're saying, that people get excited about these things and a lot of people are buying and selling NFTs because they think they can make money, are totally true. But like to me, it feels like you're totally discrediting that like NFTs and crypto and social tokens. I just basically view profile picture NFTs as social tokens are creating like these totally global like places where they can signal their interest and things, and that's incredibly exciting. And like that doesn't go away when the price goes down. Like maybe it like the noise is less, but like there's still people who are building and all this. Like I have been through a like 2.5 year bear crypto cycle where the people who actually gave a shit did not go away regardless of the price. Okay, and I thought I would never make my money back.
But that's what I'm saying. You have a very, very, very different experience from almost everyone else in this community.
But there's a lot of people who are doing this shit.
Okay,
there's a lot of people.
I think you and people who had a similar experience to you, I like have all the respect in the world for you guys built this world. You guys have like been through a bear market. You guys have bought into this and like lived through 2 years where you weren't just printing money on this. And like, then, you were able to be profitable in DeFi, profitable in NFTs, but you guys were here before it was just a money printing machine. I think a very significant portion of the current user base, their friend told them it's free, easy money. They say, just mint this, flip it for 3x later.
But that's different than what you were saying though. That's different than saying that all of this stops when the money stops. Right. Because that's like not the same conversation.
But I think, I guess it depends what this is in this scenario. I think that some stuff is lasting. Yeah.
What's the difference? I mean, it's in the chat. What's the difference in Bored Apes and Lazy Lions? Genuinely, in this scenario, right? Because like the Bored Apes aren't catered to a specific likening, right? Like, what is the difference in those two?
There's nothing different about them. It's just that the community of one is better than the other.
Yeah, but like
Mike. Okay, no, but what about the community is better? Like like what?
It's the point. There's like nothing actually there.
No, but I mean,
but that's not true.
I think this is a
like
really
saying,
good...
like, why do the Dallas Cowboys have more fans than the Seattle Seahawks? Like, I mean, it like that. I don't think that's a good question. My question to you would be
feel like we're skipping that question, which needs to be addressed. Like, what is the difference in Bored Apes?
Well, the actual difference is that Bored Apes have reached a level of like societal value that people think they are worth something. Bored Apes have been auctioned off at premier auction houses, and famous people have bought them, and no one does that with Lazy Lions.
So I guess it's a cooler community.
It's a first mover advantage. The Lazy Lions art is literally the apes art, but for lions.
Okay,
like it's completely.
But apes are punk art for apes, no?
Exactly, and all of those things are true. But I'm just saying, like,
they're not really a first mover. What got them to the auction houses is how valuable they were. So the question, this is what we always come back to. How did they get to be so valuable?
No, but apes are different than punks because they have an active dev team and community team that are rolling out a roadmap that Larva Labs has.
All right, it's hard to sit here and say the roadmap is tangibly worth that much. That's where I'll go on Andy's side. It's not the roadmap. The fact that you can have like a Miami bar meetup and some like scavenger hunt is not worth $150,000. That's where the societal clout comes in, which I get. That's like a very common human concept. There's no way a Rolex tells such good time or looks so good that it's worth what it's worth, but it's worth something because it signals something to people. And I get that, and this is the digital version of that. But I don't think that changes the fact that a huge majority of people in the space right now are not here for these kind of societal clout things and digital identity and whatever else. A lot of the excitement and why NFTs are getting a lot of press and attention right now is the money being made in it.
But to really synthesize this to a very simple example, Mike, if you went to a cocktail party, who would you rather talk to? Some random friends of friends that are fucking investment bankers, or some people that have invested in Top Shot in NFTs? Who would you rather have a conversation with?
I mean, what do the other people do as their hobbies? I guess I would ask before we just like you force me down one road.
He works for fucking Merrill Lynch.
Okay, but replace Top Shot with bowling, and I'll talk to the bowling guy still. It's not about Top Shot; it's about something to talk about.
No, I can fucking talk to anyone as well.
No, I know, but it's not a reasonable question. You're telling me I have no choice here, like.
No, I'm saying that people like talking to people who have like-minded interests. I would rather go and talk to people.
That's the thing. What is the like-minded interest in the Bored Ape community? Or let's not use that. because they're right. We've agreed they've
Right.
crushed.
They've reached exit velocity. Yeah.
Right. What is the like-minded interest in, I don't know, cool cats? Perfect example. What is because I know that it's not 8,000 people who like cats, and that's why they own a
No,
picture
but you guys are missing the distinction. I would much rather talk to someone who's into fantasy football than someone who fucking loves the New England Patriots.
Right.
Right,
every
but,
day of the week,
that could be in the form of like they own a 0.05 Ethereum brand new project. They're in the NFT space. Why do you have to own a Cool Cats?
You don't, just being interested in that. I'm saying you don't even have
Right,
to
but that's what I'm saying. So why is Cool Cats 10 ETH and I don't know, random Alphabeti or whatever is 0.1 ETH?
Because people have decided they're cool, and it's cool to own Cool Cats. Like, I think that, like, at the end of the day, I think you're like, I feel like you've walked back your take a little bit. Like, the saying that a lot of people are just trying to make money is like totally fine. I don't disagree with you, but like earlier, it felt like you were entirely discrediting the fact that like you can build interesting nascent communities online based on profile picture projects, and like that's just empirically true.
No, I get
Like,
that. I get that.
And like
I fully
that
get
stuff
that.
is incredibly important to people.
I think the numbers are reaching levels that are completely unreasonable right now, and like not like.
But that's not a
so
that's not a reflection of the community. That's just like the general market.
No, I do think
That's
it's
just
reflection
the
of community
demand
because at some point it moves from the community provides some amount of value that is like roughly reflective of the price here, and like then I don't know, you try and compare what people actually pay for experiences in community, and then it like
35,000 people a year spend $10 million on Gucci. Gucci clothes are, I've tried them. They're not really better than regular clothes, but people do it because it's fucking cool and people think it's cool. And this is no different. And there's a lot of really wealthy people where when these things get really cool and people have decided that they're really societally cool, are like going to spend money on them. That's just like how it works.
I get it. I guess to use that example,
And
I would
may
say
not be
I'm a little
you,
bit-
but like people will.
No, I get it. It's well documented. I'm supportive of digital assets as a concept. I own punks. I own this stuff, and I get the concept and I get the thesis. I think.
Like, do you own punks because you think it's a cool way to signal that you like NFTs, or do you own them?
This is the question that always comes back to. If I told you your punks would stay the same value, inflation adjusted,
I would never sell my punk.
Okay, like I probably would sell my punk at that point.
Andy, if I told you your punk would go to zero, would you sell your punk?
I fully expect every NFT I've ever bought to go to zero. And people don't probably don't believe me. I'm totally serious.
But like, that's not a tougher question because like, if it goes to zero, it no longer has like any mean. Like the value isn't just like I can sell it for this amount. It's a signal of this is how much society appreciates this item I own. Like it doesn't have to be something I can sell it for $400,000. It means I know this is a valuable thing. It's exciting to own this because it's a sought after object. And so you lose that part if it goes to zero. So I think it's hard to say it's as exciting to own it if it goes to zero.
Well, yeah, but like to me, go to zero isn't like actually go to zero.
Yeah. So I think that yeah. So I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying I think that's a harder question. So that's why I say peg it at exactly its current value. So remove the financial incentive. Is it still as exciting?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I think for you, yes, because you're a made man. I think for a lot of people in the NFT space, they wouldn't say yes to that question if you actually got an honest answer to them.
It's why Top Shot, everyone just undercut the shit out of each other. And why I would bet Bored Ape, I mean, even with punks, people undercut the shit out of each other because there is a percentage. The question might be what percentage, but there are obviously a percentage where they're only in it for the money, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Do you think there's more people like you, Andy, who wouldn't care if their punk dropped off, or more people who would like freak out? I guess punks
are hard in particular. Yeah. I think that punks are especially, their floor is like especially hardy in that sense. I think that like with a lot of these I think that if Bored Apes floor dropped to 5 Ethereum tomorrow, a shit ton of Bored Apes holders would be really upset and want to sell their apes as fast as possible. Like I think that's totally correct. Yeah. But like my point is that I don't think Bored Apes would go anywhere, and that I still think they would recover and that they would be valuable in the future because they have built an interesting group of people who, even if it's only 500 people actually, and it's not 4,600 or whatever, like who would keep having Bored Apes and keep building cool shit on Ethereum. And eventually when NFTs recovered, people would want to buy Bored Apes again. And like, that's what has generally happened in these hype cycles in general. And now we're just experiencing them in something that is new, which is these social groups that now have monetary value tied to them. and it's something that we've never had before. It's like a totally new, like nascent form of the way that people value life and money. And we're in the first like insane hype cycle of it. And like, yes, there will be a market crash for these things, but like what you're saying sounds more like discrediting the entire like field of how do we make social groups of people that are able to value how interesting and what they're doing in an actual monetary way. And like, I don't think that's going anywhere.
I think Mike, because I'm generally on your side for this. Andy's correct in that you're underestimating how many people are willing.
No, I get that.
Which is, it's not for me personally. Like I think a lot of the online communities I am are not for the reasons that others are, but there are a lot of people who will spend a lot of money to feel involved in something.
I fully agree with that. Where I get skeptical.
I think that's what Andy's taking.
I agree with that take. I think it's an easier take for someone who's already very well off and wealthy. I think it's an easier take for someone who's, I guess, been in the crypto trenches for a long time and like has a track record of I care about this and digital world before it was very profitable. So like Andy saying this stuff carries a lot more weight for me than someone who is posting about Bored Apes and saying they'll never sell their ape and they're insulted by the OpenSea offer. But like, what I want to know is, it literally, if Bored Apes fell to a 0.5 Ethereum floor and someone went to that person and said, I'll give you 18 ETH for your ape, would they still say no? Or are they saying
like,
no?
I see someone in the chat saying, I'd buy the shit out of an ape for 5 ETH. Like,
yeah. So here's the thing, like
60 to 5
is
like,
gonna
be like,
I got into crypto in 2017 because I could make money. And then I learned about crypto during those 6 months and became obsessed with it and said, I will 100% do this for the rest of my life. This is all I want to do. Yep. And like, there are people who are doing that exact same thing right now.
I get
that. Very real thing.
That's
it sounds like you don't. To be honest, it sounds like
I know. So then I'm communicating poorly. I get the idea of digital identity. I get the idea of social groups. There's massive human desire and human interest in collecting, informing tribes, informing groups, informing communities. I just think a lot of it right now, or at least a reasonable portion of it, is driven by the expectation of financial gain along with those other things. And I'm curious to see what happens if you strip away that financial gain side. Will everything last as smoothly? Will it all be as harmonious and exciting and good morning-y as it is right now? And I'm skeptical that it's as fun and as community as whatever else when everyone's not just printing money.
Hang on, but Mike, one thing I understand, like, all this stuff is inflated. When you convert it to US dollars, it seems ridiculous. But you also have to extend that to CryptoPunk. Like, CryptoPunk should be worth fucking $1,000, right?
No,
it's a
it should
fucking
be worth $0.
right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Mike, you can't like.
No, this isn't like the point. I'm not picking and choosing projects. All I'm saying is I think. Let's think about it from the participants in the ecosystem right now. I think some of them are like super well off and positioning themselves for when inevitably, I think I want to be clear on this point because I think I'm not communicating it well. I think inevitably digital assets will even be held in higher esteem than physical assets. We talked about the ferocious thing earlier. I got a physical piece that he painted, that Jonathan Wolf painted also. It's in my closet closed. Can't even see it. It's like literally in there. I can't see it. I don't want it. Like if I every time I bought a LeBron James jersey, they agreed to send me a cardboard sports card with it, I would say no thanks. I don't want to deal with it. Like I get it. I get the digital asset side of it. All I'm saying right now is I think if you went to the majority of the NFT community right now and said your membership card right now, your NFT that brings you to your community will no longer be a financially accretive thing. You won't lose money on it. Think of it like a Gucci shirt, like to your example before. I guess, assuming you can resell the Gucci shirt for what you paid for, which you probably can't even. So people are comfortable losing money on a Gucci shirt. If you remove the financial side of the NFT, does everything else remain as exciting? And I'm a little skeptical about that.
Well, yeah, but it's like the same thing happens with Bitcoin, or like Bitcoin has been through serious bear markets, and Bitcoin's been. Of course,
I'm comparing it to like using your example to Gucci. Gucci holds value not because of the financial side of it. It's because people recognize and appreciate the brand. And I'm saying I don't think NFTs are quite there yet for the average person. I think there's a certain segment of the NFT market right now who is very, very comfortable and confident in the idea of a digital future, and therefore will pay $500,000 for a punk, and will do whatever else. And honestly, they're probably right. What I'm saying is the average NFT collector right now is in it to flip one thing for another thing and make a bunch of money. They don't care about the community. And like, even though I think the people who do care about the digital side will be right eventually, all I'm saying is current NFT world is kind of a facade of people caring about community, but who want to make a bunch of money on it.
I think that's actually the genesis of this.
I agree with Andy's take on the future. I agree that we're going digital.
But time out. How do you agree with this take on the future, but you also agree that it's all crypto people now, which is why the price is...
I'm not saying it's all... What do you mean it's all crypto people now?
Like, you're pretty much saying that people are just doing... I'm saying, okay, let's just say, using easy numbers, there were 100 people in the NFT space through the end of 2020. Yeah. And now there are 1,000 people in the space. Of that new 900, 700 of them are here to flip to make money. And maybe 200 of them share this vision that Andy has and that I think I have, maybe to like a less passionate extent, but I get it. Like I think we're going digital in a big way. Yeah. And 700 of them are saying they care about community because they think that'll make them more money if they can promote this idea of community and sell it to someone else, sell this idea down the stream to someone else. And I think that's what's driving a lot of the activity right now, not this digital world, which I think is coming, but most people don't buy into it yet. So therefore, a lot of the action is price driven, not community driven, even though eventually I think that's coming.
Okay, I think it's hard to disagree with most of that. To me, your take was, of the new 900 people, 900 of them are going to leave, and all these projects are going to die and go to zero. And I thought that just sounds like absurd.
No, I probably did a shitty job communicating it.
When Gary Vee says 99.9% are going to die, do you think that's accurate,
this is less? Yeah, I guess. Just stepping back a little bit, this is less that I think like NFTs are nonsense, and more that I think a lot of participants in the NFT space right now are full of nonsense and just saying what they feel like they need to say to make more money.
I saw in the chat people saying, what about the person who declined 10 million for their punk? Like,
he's an Andy. He's like been in this space for a long time. He's passionate about community. He's passionate about crypto and the tech. And like
everyone agreed that was not everyone, but a large majority of people and really smart people were like, that's still fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was stupid.
So at that
but like I'm okay with him doing that. Like,
wait, hold on. I need to address that though, Andy. You say that's stupid, right? If the belief is it's part of his digital identity, it's part of being in a community, why is it stupid? It's only stupid because it's a bad financial decision, which would then kind of go back to the point that this is all financially motivated. Or my point is, I just think it all begins financially, right?
Well, the argument for that in that particular case, he has like the exact same punk without a cigarette.
Right.
And so like, is the cigarette, I don't think Eric smokes. Like, is the cigarette what really does it for him? Like, to me, I don't personally.
You said you'd never sell your punk. If someone offered you $1 billion,
so I wouldn't exit having punks. I've like very actively thought about buying a different punk or like swapping my punk for the same.
You have one punk.
So like I like the orange beanies.
You $1 billion.
Well, I would take it and just buy a different punk.
Right, exactly.
That's why in that like so for me, I feel less.
You can't buy back into the punks to that question, but yeah.
What do you think?
So then basically, if the punk's floor was $1 billion, odds, and this is gonna sound shitty, but if punk's floor is $1 billion, I don't need to sell. Like in the world where the punk's floor is $1 billion, there's no way I'm selling.
This question came up a lot early in Top Shot. Like when I first talked to Jennings, he was like, "If I wanted to buy your whole account right now, like would you sell it?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "What if I offered you 15 million?" And I said, "If you offered me 15 million, it's now worth 15 million. You can't tell me that like now it's not worth 15 million. Like, you've now affected the market. It's like you've affected the impact of the Top Shot market, and now my account." That's similar to what Andy's doing right now. Where if the punk floor is $1 billion, it's now worth $1 billion. You can't say like, take current environment and just call it $1 billion.
In his current status, right? If we said, okay, we're giving you $1 billion, but it's a smart contract and you can never own a punk again, I think you'd take that.
I mean, for $1 billion.
Yeah. But I think Andy and I are closer than it seems like we are right now on this. Just Andy's. You've been in the trenches for a long time, and I think you think that more people think and like have experienced this crypto nirvana kind of thing. And I
don't think that's not what I think it is. I just think that like it's become increasingly more clear to me just like how important it is for people's happiness and their well-being and their success in life, that like finding your tribe of people who you like really relate to and can talk to honestly and work with together on investing and literally everything is like unbelievably important. Yeah. And NFTs and social tokens and stuff are like the best way to like turn that into a thing that people can actively do in their life and not just get lucky and fall into. And I think that like the value of that is just like exponentially larger than people realize that it is.
I agree.
Mike, a lot of people care what you think about Top Shot because of like how you've positioned yourself in that community. And like the Top Shot market has not been doing well over the past couple months. But that doesn't mean that people are like, well, I'm done with Mike. I don't give a shit what Mike thinks. Like, people care about what you think because of where you've positioned yourself in the community. Like, you can't untangle fully like price action from like what you have. And that was part of why you wouldn't sell your account for 15,000, because of what Top Shot has done for you, for your exposure, for all of that stuff. Like, yes, I agree price is part of it, but like you said yourself that you wouldn't sell because of what Top Shot has done for your life.
So I would say it's less what it's not like some sentimental bond for Top Shot. I think that there's a few reasons I wouldn't sell, but to address your original comment there, I think a big part of the reason we've touched on this before, and I appreciate, but I don't need the comment like, oh, like people care about what you think about. People, I have a lot of followers on Twitter because when people go to the leaderboard of Top Shot, they see my name on it.
But that's not true. No,
I think look, things that help are being on this show, having a large Top Shot account, being one of the early people, being sort of loud and defensive about Top Shot on Twitter, and people appreciate that. But I think if I did everything the exact same, but I had a $5,000 account, I probably have 1/6 as many followers as I have right now. And I say that because there are a lot of very, very sharp people who are in the Top Shot community who I see on Twitter all the time, who have really, really interesting takes and perspectives and are running good analysis, who don't have as many followers as I have. And
but that's the whole point of why people would still want to buy in when the number is really high, because you can go and buy an alien CryptoPunk and make a new account with it and prove you own it, and you immediately have buy-in from everyone who owns a CryptoPunk, and immediately everyone thinks this person is legitimate and I should be listening to them and I should be following them. And that's why like the numbers aren't too high in my opinion. Like, the numbers are insane, but that's the argument against what you're saying is like your account being worth a lot and you spending a lot of money on Top Shot has hence made you more reputable and has made your experience with Top Shot better and made your community experience in Top Shot enjoyable for you and has opened doors for you that it wouldn't have otherwise. And these communities are the same thing. And they're, whether or not we think people who like cool cats are really in it for the community, if someone goes and drops $1 million on a cool cat, those people all want to know what that person has to say, and they're all going to listen to them, and they're all going to really value their input. And that's really valuable to people.
So I agree with all of that. And I look, I happen to be very, very aligned on punks in particular. I really like the idea that if you own a punk, either it means you were in the NFT community in 2017, which I have all the respect in the world for people who took the leap in 2017, didn't sell anywhere along the way, are still in the space today, or you have a bunch of money. It's like that's what owning a punk means today. You either we're early to NFT world, which is cool and respectable and someone I'd be interested in following, or you have a bunch of money, which everyone like is interested to hear perspectives from people who have a lot of money, whether or not they're smart or intelligent or connected. Like, it's interesting to hear what wealthy people have to say. People, I don't know, find that interesting.
Well, but it's one step more than that though, right? Because it's that you have money and then you also have conviction in the thing that these people are all aligned on. It's not just having money.
I agree with this.
Like, I don't really give a shit what Elon has to say. It's not really relevant to me.
But I mean, a lot of people do. So
because like, people who get really excited about it are like the people who own Dogecoin, because Elon has also said that he's bought Dogecoin.
Right.
And so it's like this.
I agree with what you're describing. What I'm saying is less that like if someone comes and buys a cool cat for like $1 million, I think if someone comes and buys a cool cat for $2 million, it would bring that community a lot closer right now. What I'm saying is more the participants in the space, a lot of them right now aren't necessarily seeking that online community as much as they're seeking flipping opportunities. And that's like, this literally goes back to the plus EV packs thread where I was frustrated because all these people were coming to Top Shot, which I really enjoyed Top Shot. I've had a great experience. I've met a ton of cool people, and they were like taking over the Top Shot world very, very strictly for pure financial profit. And that bothered me. And I was like, these people are kind of coming into my sacred space, extracting money from it. Everyone who's not extracting money from it are people that are passionate about the same product that I am. And that's bothering me. And I feel like that's a lot of what's going on in overall NFT space right now, that everyone in the Top Shot world was posting about it and excited about it and Snapchatting about it and whatever else. But if you look at the market today versus where it was, volumes are 1/40th of what they were at the peak. But what we're left with is a passionate community. And that's what I feel like we're like with the overall NFT space right now, where a lot of the people are saying, I'm really excited about everything you're describing, which I agree with, but they aren't actually. And they're much more like these like sneakerhead flippers that came through the Top Shot world in February and March and April, and less so like the remaining people that are still with Top Shot today, which are, I think, the people who fit exactly what you're describing, which I love and I'm excited about and I want to be a part of and all that kind of stuff. But that's what I'm like frustrated about and what I'm trying to express right now, that I think a huge portion of them are these like sneakerhead flipper types right now. And I'm excited for the phase, hopefully, when like they've been washed out because things have stopped just doubling every week and they move on to the next thing that they can profit on.
Those people definitely exist. I know the exact type of people exist, but those aren't the people we're largely talking about who are.
I know. That's why I think when I say Andy and I are on a closer page than it seems like we are right now. I just think that the portion of people that see eye to eye with what Andy's describing and what I think is also the future is a much smaller portion of the overall NFT space right now than it may seem, and that a lot of people are here just because this is the current game that's the easiest way to profits.
What do you guys think your Top Shot group and your friends would have looked like if Top Shot never caught on?
What?
Probably pretty similar. Because I mean, most of my conversations with Mike and like when we became friends were before Top Shot like was doing anything. Most of our conversations around like towards like right before things started to go crazy, we're like, wow, I'm really disappointed with how this is going so far.
But so actually this is interesting. I think like Top Shot to me is crypto to you. Like we spent whatever it was 3-4 months just like grinding, chatting at 1 a.m. saying like, oh, this is kind of fun, like this is cool. Oh, like this happened in the NBA finals, like interesting to see that didn't affect the market, like, and just like analyzing this new thing, this fun thing, like this identity thing. Someone pulls a #1 cereal and like the group of 43 people in the Discord get excited. And like, it's like, oh, this is like a fun little like new thing, whatever else. And like, you see the value of it. And like, because we had that experience together, I think we can intellectually honestly say we spent hours and hours and hours on this when it wasn't clear this was going to be a financially profitable thing. And that's why I get annoyed when rent seekers come and like
don't you see Andy's point then? Don't you see?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I do see Andy's point, but what I've become skeptical is I think we have a lot of participants in the space today who are like the people who came through Top Shot who kind of annoyed me in the February, March. I very much understand what they're doing. They want to make a little money. Great, good for them. But it annoys me because it kind of dirties the community from this pure experience that Andy and I had in August, September, October of 2020, way before there was any money to be made, way before it seemed like there was any money to be made. And then these people came in and pretended they were really, really excited about it so they could make a bunch of money on it. And that's what I feel like a lot of the NFT space is like right now. And like, That's I guess the key
two things. One, I will say, I think the reason your Discord was more fun, or why I get it more, was because it was like-minded. It was a bunch of people who liked the NBA, right? Versus the early days of Cool Cats. There's virtually nothing to get excited about, right? Besides price action, right? Like,
it's a different form of community building.
Yeah, exactly. And then what was I gonna fucking say? I had such a good second point that I'm now just blanking on because Pete distracted me by turning on his standing desk and
going to Maker's Mark and muting himself. Trying to talk.
You're on.
He's down so bad right now.
You're still on mute. Is he fucking with us?
I don't know.
What's going on, guys?
I think that's sort of like I think that's me putting it the best way I can. The least of like the best community. I very much believe in this digital future. I get the idea of kind of literally just as simple as flex products or community products that bring people together, that people have in common, all that. I just think that right now, a lot of the people in the community are much more like these flippers that came to Top Shot and now are in NFT world and just gravitate towards the next thing, selling concert tickets,
that's what
selling
I was
sneakers,
say.
whatever else. And
That's what I was gonna say.
right now they're in NFTs, and I'm excited for it to kind of be pruned out and for overall NFT world to reach where we are currently in Top Shot, where everyone in Top Shot right now is a basketball fan. It feels like, again, finally.
I think that is what I was gonna say. I think you're severely overestimating how many people are making money in NFTs. Severely, like you're talking about as if everyone's coming in here and making money. Like
I don't think they are the last couple of weeks. Before that, it was extremely easy.
No, it wasn't. I minted a bunch of projects that I got rugged on. I bought into some awful.
Their communities were not good enough.
Right. No, but I'm being dead serious.
You should have put it on your Snapchat. You can drive this.
I'm being dead serious. Like I saw a poll that said not paper gains, right? Because that's another thing, right? Which is a lot of people are up right now until they finally dump into a shit project and then it's all gone, or until all these things can still happen. I think, and then in the poll, it was like 30% of people had made over 1 ETH. The other 70% had lost money.
But okay, that's fine, but like those people, a portion of those people, the portion that I'm talking about, the portion that bothers me, will leave. Then, like they go to where there are plus EV opportunities, and again, they go from flipping sneakers to concert tickets to Pokemon cards to NFTs to Top Shots, like whatever it is. And I think a lot of them are currently in NFTs, and like that's what I'm trying to say right now. Like Andy, I agree with everything you're saying. Basically, I just think that a lot of people right now are basically pretending to agree with what you're saying because this is the latest game they're playing in order to rent seek.
I do think, once again, it started with the money, but we have all become like NFT heads who are becoming not as passionate as Andy will ever be. But if you were, had a conversation with someone in just public who wasn't a believer in NFTs, like you would feel super, super passionate about.
I go to bat for it like crazy. I love it. Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of what Andy's getting at, which is like, it is that passion that's going to drive these communities. And owning one of these things, I would pay $100,000 for this membership fee to signal to that person. Like I have such high conviction that literally like, fuck you. It's like a 6-figure fuck you to these people who don't get it or who don't agree. I think we're overestimating a lot of things. But I don't think that a ton of people are going to come in and instantly be like, oh, a cool cat? That's a sick community. I get to chat with someone on Discord, $30,000. That won't happen.
That was the root of me saying that I don't think the Coinbase NFT stuff is going to be like a huge boon for these big projects because it takes time and that like it takes you building actual conviction and understanding why you would want to do this. And like not every project is going to be worth $100,000. Like those things are going to be few and far between.
Yeah, and also,
but it will get there. It will get there.
No, our buddy No Smock, who we met in Vegas, asking for a group hug. Look,
I like this. We don't have to agree on everything. This is fine. It's good.
That's what I was just.
Also, I think we're like sort of agreeing. Also, so like we should find something else we don't agree on.
I mean, the whole reason this is a fun argument is because we all agree that both of these elements, the community versus price action, are both big parts of it. We're basically arguing, is it 60%? Is it 70%? Right? That's what we're arguing. And I think that's a fun argument.
Are we even arguing that? I don't like, I guess back to that question.
What I say we're arguing about?
No, I'm curious. I'm curious, Andy, like, it's impossible to measure. I don't know how of 1,000 hypothetical people, how many do you think are here because of the things you've described, which I believe, and I'm one of those people who's here for that. How many of those 1,000 people do you think are here for that versus how many of them are sneakerheads, for lack of a better term?
So I have no idea. I think where I was misunderstanding you is that I was taking what you were saying as that, like, in the end, whatever amount of people who do have that conviction in the long term, like, it's not going to matter because it's like not enough, and like too many people are just in it for the money, and so like these, like this, the idea of like there being serious value in these like social currencies is like not real, and it's just people who want to speculate on these things. And my argument is that, like, no, that's not true. There is serious value in building these social clubs, and like even if 95% of the people left, like the ones that are real and are building things and are doing interesting things are going to have serious long-term staying power, because like the 5% who do stay and keep building, like the 5% of people who stick with Bitcoin and Ethereum for 3 years when it's a bear market, are like going to build through that and continue to build interesting things, because we're like on the precipice of really interesting technology that's unlocking a ton of things for people. And so I think that's what my misunderstanding was.
Well,
I think I communicated like shit because the entire chat was arguing a different thing. So
No,
I don't think you
Mike,
misinterpreted. I think
will
I just
say-
said shitty points.
Mike, it's natural human stuff to focus on the bad stuff, but there are plenty of people who agree with your take. But like, you do just mentioning Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like, I've held Bitcoin for a long time. I've never found a community around Bitcoin that I'm excited about. I'm in no Bitcoin chats. I follow a few people on Twitter who talk about Bitcoin. It's fine. I still have like long-term conviction on Bitcoin, but I've never found community in Bitcoin like I found in other stuff, fantasy football, DFS, NFTs. Like, I'm in lots of group chats about the latter that I'm excited about to talk about. And I have like no interest in going to like a Bitcoin meetup, even though I have like relative to my net
million
worth,
Bitcoin. You heard
like,
it was coming out right there.
No, I mean, Bitcoin is a big part
He
of
has
my
his
net
own
worth.
fucking Bitcoin ETF.
No, but
Yeah, how much Bitcoin do you have?
I mean, like a large amount relative to my other shit, and yet I don't give a shit about like hanging out with those people because the community isn't as fucking as cool as like the NFT people and the fantasy people and the
Just
top
say it
people.
as the lazy lions.
No, I agree.
Bitcoin is no lazy lion.
I think the NFT space is like the people who gravitate towards the NFT space is like the most fascinating people. It's like it's people who like
you see what Andy's saying now.
Yeah, I do. Thank you. It's a really fascinating group of people who are kind of comfortable with a level of risk and kind of taking a chance on something, and like comfortable doing something that other people would call stupid because they have conviction in it. And I think like that's someone that like all of us here and a lot of people who are in the NFT space, but not enough, if you ask me, because of the other people, see eye to eye with, and they're excited to talk about that, and they're excited to like analyze new markets and new situations and interact with more people who are like-minded, and like a lot of people who are like-minded and similar people who get excited about the same kinds of things like poker, sports betting, like options traders, DeFi people. Like this all kind of comes together in NFT world, and so like that's been fascinating for me, like seeing all these types of people coming together. And it's the kind of people where it's like, all right, you know, like a few people I've met in my life kind of fit that mold, but it's not that common of a person. And like that's a big part of the good part of the NFT community, I'd say. Like interesting people who, you know, are comfortable taking that sort of chance. Just the part that I don't like is I think so much of the community right now is pretending to care about the stuff we're talking about because they think that'll help their bags do better. Then they can exit and move on to the next thing. And like that's what I'm like.
Andy, do you disagree with that? I don't think you disagree with that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that in the, I mean, I'm not shocked because Mike and I have made very similar high conviction bets on the same field. I think I was, for me, like the majority of it is that like I still think that the social side of things is incredibly powerful and like severely underrated.
Yeah.
And so like when Mike was saying that like when the money stops, that stuff won't have any value. I think what he really meant was that like a non-trivial amount of people who are spending money on these things right now that will not have value to, but like I still think those things will have value, just not to the people who are only in this to try to flip them, which I totally agree with, and I think is extremely fair.
So I agree, and then I'll take that one further, and then the chat's going to go ham on me right now. My question is, I guess, is what's holding Bored Apes, Cool Cats, is what's holding those communities together right now the value of the NFT. And so if you take away the value, those communities are not as strong as they were, whether it's because a large portion of the makeup of them are in it for the money. And like, again, I think Bored Apes, like Steph Curry's not buying a Bored Ape because he wants a 5X in it. Like, he doesn't give a shit about that money. He's worth $200 million.
But he also
doesn't care.
didn't
So
buy
I think that,
to be a part of the community, right? Which is interesting.
yes, yeah. But I guess what I'm saying, Bored Apes has like reached exit velocity. There's enough of the owners right now don't care about money, and like that's the best case scenario right now. Right, you don't care about money. So like if it does fall, like they'll still own their Bored Apes and they'll be comfortable with that. But a lot of the other ones right now, I think, when the money goes away, a decent portion of the community will also go away. So I try to think kind of what's left over, and this is almost the simple comment of the blue chips will survive, but what are the blue chips right now? And like that's why I go back to what I always go back to. I like punks. I like Series 1 Top Shot. I like these things that like if 60% of the community vacates because the money is gone, what are things that will still have kind of strong showings, have a good enough story that like people will get that?
But
right?
the things you just said right there, what are things that'll still have strong showings or investment?
Yeah.
Because that's still tied to price. Like if CryptoPunks go to 1, are you still interested in your CryptoPunks? Because I honestly think your answer might be different than Andy's.
So with CryptoPunks, I am still interested. I guess CryptoPunks, to put in Top Shot terms, CryptoPunks are to NFT space as LeBron is to Top Shot, where it's like if you believe in the NFT space and that it'll grow and more people will adopt it and it'll be exciting and more brands will get involved, then CryptoPunks will be an attractive thing. If it takes a winter between now and a 2-year bear market, fine. But like if you believe in the NFT story as a concept and digital assets as a concept, then punks are going to survive. I think if you run if you simulate the world however many times, 1,000 times, and we have an NFT bear market for 2 years, I think a reasonable number of those, like we don't see Bored Apes and Cool Cats again, but I think as soon as it bounces back, punks come back up first. And so
yeah, but I think where you might you want, like, for your investment thesis, Mike, like you want Bored Apes to fucking crush. You want Cool Cats to fucking crush. You want Toads to fucking crush. Like you want all this shit to fucking crush because that just strengthens the investment thesis of CryptoPunks. It's the same fucking deal.
Oh yeah, I agree.
First mover advantage of it. So like, I think, Mike, I'm just being honest. I think how people interpret your claims is like Mike has his heavy Top Shot and CryptoPunk bags and is like fudding everything else or diminishing everything else. And I think you could probably get a lot more goodwill of just like admitting that you just think you've made a slightly better bet than
I've made the bets I've made because I believe in them. If I
believe in these.
Of course, I'm not saying everyone else is wrong. I'm not the guy like in the mirror saying like the market's wrong. You're right, like that kind of situation. I've made the bets I have because I believe in them. And you're right. If Bored Apes do well and NFTs get bigger, that's good for my bags. But I'm trying to separate the concept of what's good for my bags versus what I think about the market and what I think may happen.
Thanks, tweet.
What is this, Peter? Today I said yes to others.
Dink.
Down bad.
Oh man,
this is what happens when you're in it for the community. He said yes to the community and not himself and his family.
What the fuck? Peter just subtweeted us. He got on the screen and he got yelled at by Ashley, and then he put up this tweet.
Can we see the replies?
Let you back in the net. Oh my god!
But yeah,
Mitch, what a nice guy, Mitch. But yeah, why? I think Pete, what's hard about that, and this almost goes back to what Beanie says all the time, and a lot of other people say it all the time. They're like, of course I talk my own bags. Like this is what I actually believe in. Like I'm literally putting my dollars what I believe in. Like of course I end up talking favorably about my own bags because those are the bets that I actually believe in, the bets that I've made. I have skin in the game. It's not to, like, I don't think me talking on Club Top Shot at 12:23 Eastern is going to help my punks bags. Like the goal isn't to pump my own bags or to
I'm
fud
going
other
to buy a
projects.
punk right now, dude. You pumped it.
I'm not trying to fud other projects. I'm just giving my honest assessment of other things. And like, I don't think Bored Apes are a bad thing to buy right now, but like, I think that's independent from what I'm trying to describe about the situation. And like, if there is a very, very, very bad NFT winter, like, you know, are everyone's saying right now, like, oh, I'd buy any Bored Ape at 20 ETH. They would buy any Bored Ape at 20 ETH when the floor is 40. But if the floor is 8, would you still buy any Bored Ape for 20? Absolutely not. And like,
I completely agree with that, Mike. But I think you still are probably discounting some of the community elements a little bit too far just because of the price action.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that
at some point it reaches a point. Yeah, go ahead.
Is like all of these communities are so nascent that like we were saying like, oh, what is it about any one particular community? And the fact of the matter is like right now we really don't know. The only way you know what it is about the Bored Ape community that is valuable during the NFT winter is when there is an NFT winter and you actually see. And like essentially what that bet is right now is that there are groups of non-trivial amounts of people who have spent serious money on these things because they care about them and they wanted to be a part of this. And some of them think that they can just flip them, but some of them don't. Some of them just really want one. And like when shit actually hits the fan, then we'll actually know what that means. And it's like, I guess my bet is essentially that like, based on what I've seen in crypto and like my experience there is like, there are people who have that conviction and are willing to like build things through whatever comes. And like the projects that have had the most signal are the ones that I'm willing to bet the most on, that like they will figure out what it means to build a community and build these NFT projects and all of that. And we don't know what they are right now. We just like don't know the answers to that. And that's where I think that stuff is still interesting and valuable. And it might not mean it's monetarily valuable at any one given time, but like over a long enough time horizon, some of these projects that aren't like, that don't have merit just because they're the first, or like the one that's the most expensive will have merit because some amount of people have dedicated their life to building on them.
And Mike, like one thing too, I mean, one thing we all have to admit, speculating on NFTs is fucking way more fun than speculating on so many different other asset classes. Like
100%. It feels like sports betting. I haven't placed a sports bet in months and months and months. That used to be like my fun pastime, my fun little hobby. Like, let me try and find an angle.
Underdog drafts.
Underdog. Hashtag
so
underdog.
Easy.
Can we get the logo up? Yeah. Underdog.
All you gotta do,
you got it
it's
on
so
the
easy.
iPad?
I'll do a Wednesday. Oh yeah, I do it on my iPad all the time. I got a fucking mount from my desk. I sit here and draft all day. I wish
you know
I was
what
kidding.
Underdog needs to work on, Andy, is multi
Getting me a larger allocation.
on mobile.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Look how easy that is. So you get in.
I completely agree. I guess. I mean, look. Is NFTs? Do they bring that dopamine rush because everyone's making money, or like in isolation? Like, would people still mint all this crap and like have that gambling lottery and everything if the money wasn't there? I don't think so. Sports betting's fun because you get to watch the game, you get to like talk shit with your buddies about it and whatever else. Like, but this currently hits that itch because you can make money on it. Like that's kind of what I'm saying. Like a part of the popularity.
I have a really weird question.
Yeah, go.
I think will help me. Did you use Reddit a lot growing up?
No.
Who doesn't know what that is?
So,
I know what Reddit is.
So kind of like the way that I kind of think about it is like for you, the easiest form of community and thing to like rationalize and think about is like basketball, because it's a very like traditional fandom form of community. And so like Top Shot and that stuff is like a very easy thing to think about. Like for me, I was like super active in like random like subreddits where I like basically I was invested in posting and shitposting on these subreddits with random people I did not know online because it was fun and I enjoyed it. And so I view like a Bored Ape or something like that more like this, where it's this like nascent thing that doesn't have like a traditional rail of what is valuable and what is community, but like people still do it. Like dudes spend a lot of time moderating subreddits for no money because they just like it. And I don't see why these are any different.
I get that. Look, I played a bunch of RuneScape growing up. That's like a big part of NFT world also. Like there's a weird overlap where the Venn diagram of NFTs and RuneScape players is like a circle. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the most mind-blowing thing. Like, and like that was a whole community. Like I've recently been shopping and it's mind-blowingly expensive. So I may not shop for it anymore, for a pinball machine. And like boy, have I learned there are real communities around pinball and like the retro, and I like fucking love it. I'm like, I want to learn everything about this, and like there are people that I've like now met at a store in Westchester who like this is their life. They've got 8 pinball machines. They know everything about pinball, and I fucking love it. I'm like, they're making no money on it. It's not a money thing. Like I get all that. The basketball thing is just an easy thing. Where my question comes in, and like Bored Apes isn't the best example because like I do think it means something now. I'm more talking about like the crappier NFT projects. I don't know, put whatever name on you want.
Yeah, well, and so I agree. I think a lot of those, like they basically, and I agree, like a non-trivial amount of that is just people who are trying to find the next Bored Apes and aren't actually interested in building anything and probably will not have staying power.
Right. And like, So that's why I say I think we're on a closer page in that, like where a lot of these other projects are not because people fucking love pinball and they're nostalgic for when they were 15 in the arcade and they were like inviting the girl to prom in like the 1960s or whatever. That like, there's no community around that. There's no RuneScape equivalent. There's no Reddit.
Is that why
equivalent.
you're buying a pinball machine?
Yeah. I'm in the burbs now. You know, like there's not much else to do. Confident. So yeah, I'm agreeing with what you're saying for some projects that like there is that like unified element and like this is a fun thing. We've all done this together. We've been through the ride. It's similar to what we were talking about with Top Shot with what like. We spent months where I'm like, telling my wife, what are you? She's like, what are you doing? Oh no, she's like, what are you doing at 3 a.m.? I'm like, Dr. Applesauce messaged me. I'm like, she's like, I can't believe this is a real thing. And like we had that shared experience and that was fun and it wasn't a money thing, but I think a lot of NFT world right now is a money thing.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna shut it down because we are.
How do you think that guy feels who asked for a VeeFriends opinion and then you didn't even tell him that?
I said I like the VeeFriends.
Yeah. I guess right before we go, I like VeeFriends. I think AJ and Gary are awesome, and like I think that those guys will try their asses off for like even what Mike was talking about of how do they provide enough value for these to be worth it. Like of anyone, those guys will try their asses off to make this stuff valuable. I personally do not own any. I don't really get the art, like the things that they give value for are not super valuable to me, but I think they're really cool.
Yeah. And I think the one thing Mike would also agree on is we've made lots of friends. I mean, Mike, if it wasn't for Top Shot, you have made infinitely more money on Top Shot than I have, but we made a life-lasting friendship through this NFT, Mike. Would you fucking disagree with that, you fucking money hungry piece of shit?
Oh, the real moments that matter are the ones we've had together, Pete.
All right, and I need 3 more people before we log off. I need 3 more people to join my underdog NBA draft for tomorrow.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that, sir.
There you go.
So I agree with VeeFriends. Jack, you made a point when we were talking about VeeFriends. We'll give VeeFriends their 2 minutes here. That if anyone can bring that additional value and say we've received $100,000, we need to deliver $150,000 of value. How do we take a profit and deliver extra value? Gary and AJ can definitely do that. They put on this conference every year. They have valuable information and advice they can provide people that people will pay for that doesn't cost them anything. And so I think they can definitely do that. Yeah, I think VeeFriends is a really interesting project, and I love the idea. Similar to what I like about Lucky Trader, that it has onboarded a lot of people to NFT space who are new to the space, and hopefully not just sneakerheads and here to stay.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say too, because I've seen a few bad takes of people think that we like dislike each other or we're so angry at each other. Like, just chill the fuck out. We're having healthy debate.
Yeah, this is so good.
My headphones have officially died, so I can no longer hear
you guys. Fucking lap this shit up, and you'll keep coming back for these takes because you love it. And I saw multiple takes. You can't turn it off, and that's why you're still watching. So thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, we can open some running backpacks.
The Lakers fucking suck.
Yes. Thank you, Jack, for that take. I'll definitely be checking in on the score of that game once we exit. Apologies to the VIPs. I'm sorry that Top Shot rugged us tonight. We'll open Run It Backpacks for Andy, for Mike, for Jack, for Peter, who's repairing his marriage and also going to Vegas next week. We'll see you. Peace out.